3, 2, 1, go. Live from OCD Studios and broadcasting at twitch.tv/OCDcast, it's Boards and Swords.
Woo!
That's right, it's Boards and Swords. This is a show where we entertain the world about tabletop games. I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm sending it to you, Philip. I'm Chris Renshaw.
I'm not drunk enough to have good moves yet. I'm Philip.
I'm Cindy.
I am Collin, the Numenera not know anyone person.
What?
I think he's just saying something because it was the only thing he could see.
Yeah, I had something in my brain.
Now
but
you're making me wish I had put the board games back over here so you could see those.
I was all set to say I'm like the anti-scarf person or something. I don't know. Because I saw the scarf over there.
Yeah. By the way, did you notice that I went in... so now you've got the boards behind you.
Yes.
And we got the role-playing games behind us.
We have all of these.
Yeah.
None of which they want to play.
What?
For the most part. By the way, that's up. So we'll get into some stuff here. But one thing I noticed, because I went to our local board game group has like a gala every year where they pass out awards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I noticed when they were doing this that my taste in gaming, like you guys fall in the circle of like the taste that everybody else. And then there's like me. I'm over here.
Yeah, we've been trying to tell you
And
that
it's
for a long
not
time.
a Venn diagram. It is
weird. Not a Venn diagram. Like, you know what the number
Just
one
another
game that
planet.
they played last year was?
Munchkin.
Dominion.
Okay.
Well, that's because
That's
one
'cause
person
Wes
brings
is
it
I
and
know,
plays
I
it
know,
every
but I'm
week.
like, guys, so much better games than Dominion. I mean, even if you want to stick with Dominion-style games, you got Trains, Tyrants of the Underdark. I mean, there's so many. Clank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like, it's just like, seriously?
Well, and, yeah.
And it's just like, there's everybody, and then I'm over here.
That's the Friday night group. That does the most of the plays.
Yeah. So, all right. So when I decided to do the news a little differently this week
All right.
because there's just announcements galore.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, and I stole this a little bit. The Tonight Show does those like NFL superlatives. So I went along those same lines, except for I hopped in a time machine. And I went to the future, and I found out what the awards these games are going to win next year.
All right.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you the game, and then I'm going to tell you next year what award it's going to win.
All right, then.
So, because what happens,
think I'm gonna like
the New
this.
York Toy Fair came out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is next to Gamma. This is one of the biggest things coming out. By the way, I think we should do when Gamma happens. We should do like our, you know how we did pre-Gen Con, what we're excited about.
Oh yeah.
I think we should do a post-Gamma version of that,
Oh, I'd be
like
down.
a top 3. And I know a guy that might be willing to join us for that.
Cool.
I have not talked to him yet, but anyways. So first thing up.
He knows a guy.
Philip Gale Force 9's making a D&D game
All right.
based on a yet-to-be-announced scenario. So, like, all it is like a black box that says Dungeons & Dragons on it because it's based on a scenario that Wizards hasn't announced. Like, they haven't announced. It's going to be based on the book that's coming out in September.
Gotcha.
But Wizards hasn't announced what that
okay.
book is, so everything's a secret right now.
Nice.
There we go. All right.
It's going to be $50, and it's a 2 to 4 player co-op game. You know what award this is going to win?
What's that?
Best attempt to innovate the dungeon crawl genre to mediocre success.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of Wizards of the Coast, they're adding a twist in an old classic with Axis and Allies and Zombies. So it's your basic Axis and Allies. This reminded me of like the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's
I've
just
seen
throw-
people
and-
post about
Isn't
this
that
this
like-
week.
Isn't that already a mode in Call of Duty?
yeah.
Zombie mode.
Yes.
Scythe
is.
already has Jason in our chat room. Scythe already has expansions, which you can see.
But there is another one
There
coming
is a new
out.
one coming out later this year.
There is, yes.
And zombies do make everything better.
They do.
But
No, they don't.
yes, they do.
you want to know
No,
what
they
award this is going to win?
What's that?
You want to know
What's
what
it gonna win?
This is going to win best board game in the Walmart clearance bin.
Thank you. We worked really hard to get where we're
The,
at.
the zombies, Axis, and allies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now here's one for Philip.
All right.
Munchkin Cheats.
Yes. Well, I mean,
It is
that's-
a expansion for Munchkin, adding cheat cards and cheating themed cards to the game.
I have no problem with this whatsoever.
You know what award this is going to win?
Philip is going to buy it.
Philip's favorite expansion of 2018 that no one will play with him.
It's so true. Oh, no.
So this is an expansion, so it's not a full game.
That's okay. I already own a full game.
By the way, speaking of Munchkin, you never
Yeah.
replied to me. Did you see that the Munchkin CCG is out?
I saw your
Oh, it's
picture.
actually
Yeah.
out?
It's actually out. It came
Wow.
out this past week.
Oh, I didn't know it wasn't out.
No, they had been teasing it for a while, but it finally came. Like, it's been in development forever.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
it's now out.
Okay, gotcha. I saw the picture. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a brand new thing. I thought you
Yeah.
were just showing me it was
We
there.
need to get a hold of this because I have a feeling me and you are going to like this game.
Yeah.
It's designed by Eric Lang,
Yeah, I heard.
so I kind of have to play it. And then last, something that you guys will actually like. Prowler's Passage.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It's Renegade Games and J. Alex Cavern.
Oh,
Two-player
yeah.
game, yeah.
Its players are thieves digging tunnels through underneath
Yeah.
the city to avoid guards.
I'm curious about this.
This is actually, it got 2 awards.
Oh.
So the first award was the most recent game from Renegade people won't stop gushing over.
Maybe.
Yep.
And then it also won the coveted Venn diagram award for games that appease Collin, Cindy, and myself.
All right.
Because it actually, this was one of those games that's like, okay, it's got the mechanics and everything, but at the same time, players are thieves digging tunnels under cities. And I think I can't remember. There was something in the mechanics that made me like, ooh, I like, that sounds nice.
I don't think I've actually heard anything about the mechanisms yet.
I don't remember the description. I should have write it down.
Don't you play a thief who hides bodies in the tunnels under the city? Okay, that's
Not
fine.
anymore.
That's right, not anymore.
No, we finished that game.
We're finally done with that.
That
Yeah.
was a game?
It was D&D.
It's D&D.
I was joking.
Well,
Just
hiding
just
bodies under the city?
Just don't look at that panel that's over there.
That's right.
Okay.
Where do you think all my other co-hosts have gone? All right. So speaking of the gala, I'll go ahead and start. by s-
Hey, how come Collin and Cindy only have 1 button? I got like 7.
What?
What?
The panel drop buttons.
Oh.
How come I got 7 buttons? They only got 1 each.
Uh,
All right, fine.
there's different ways I want to torture you.
Okay, gotcha.
This one goes to the acid pit. That one goes to spikes. This one goes to bubble wrap.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's not even torture. That's a good time.
Then there's tribbles because I want it to be like thematic.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And then there's the fire.
Wait, is it pre-popped bubble wrap?
If it is, then that's torture.
I was thinking about
Damn
that.
you!
That Dane Cook thing is like you got a trapdoor that leads to a marsh full of marshmallows. I'm not even mad.
Whatever.
That totally throw you off.
No. I was just thinking if you were chill about it, then you would be
Mm.
mellow and a marshmallow marsh.
Ooh.
Oh my word. All right.
So
Chris.
the gala, after the gala,
Yeah.
which I was like, sweet, we're gonna go there, play games, and then they spent like 3 hours
Yep.
doing statistics,
Yep.
and I was like,
Play games.
do I really care who lost the most?
Yeah.
Especially since I'm not on any of these lists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, we some of these stats would be great as in like a quick let's do a quick who wants to throw a guess. No, we're doing this as a Family Feud
So,
game show style.
I
Okay.
will say, as someone who was involved in it last year, and I had been at many of the game nights last year, it was a lot of fun because I knew everybody. I knew what the stuff was. I helped plan the event, and so it was a lot of fun. But I could totally see, like, this year, part of why I didn't want to go is because I haven't been that involved in
Yeah.
this game. Because Friday nights are too loud for me. I just can't handle the
Yeah, that's
noise.
what I was telling you about earlier.
And 2, I have practice on Monday nights now for choir, and so
Yeah.
I can't. So I literally have not been to a game night in hardly any in the past, 8 months or whatever.
Mhm.
And so it just wasn't going to be any fun for me because I wouldn't have known the stuff. But I feel like a lot of people that were there that have come regularly, it probably was fun. For
Like it
them.
was a great event. Like there was food, and there was oh my god,
Yeah.
the food was amazing. But it's one of those. I guess it's appeasing to the people that have been there a lot. But if you hadn't been there a
Yeah.
lot, then you're just kind of like
you, yeah.
I'm just like I have a lot of friends here that showed up to this that I'd like to
Mhm.
play games with because I haven't played games with them in a while.
Right, right.
And by the time we finish, it's like 10 o'clock.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, I'll play a game. So I played Dinosaur Island.
Awesome.
Oh,
That was actually pretty cool.
was that Bryce's copy?
Bryce's copy, which had like all the
3D
Kickstarter,
printed insert
the insert
also?
stuff, which
Oh,
is
nice.
something I'm probably going to try and get into. Because now I have a 3D printer that prints spaghetti
Woohoo!
mostly.
All right.
Need some spaghetti? I can do that.
Yeah. And then, so I did, yeah. So Dinosaur Island it's a great, but it was one of those, like, as they're setting it up, like I was there because it was like, they're like, you want to play? And I'm like, I mean, not really, but I hadn't played a game with Bryce in forever, and they want an extra fourth player. So it was one of those, like, I'm not going to take a seat in case someone that really wanted to play,
Yeah.
but sure, I'll play it.
Mhm.
But as he set it up, I was like, this seems like it's going to be a nightmare.
Did you end
And
up?
like as he's explaining it, because
Go
there's
ahead.
like 4 phases, and each phase is like a different board, and you're like hopping from board to board to board to do different. But it actually, like, when they explained it, not when they explained it, but when we started playing it, it was a lot smoother than what it is, because it's like
Okay.
you do this, like everyone kind of picks what they're going to do real quick on this board, and then you're going to go to this board, pick stuff, and then the third board is everybody does it like at the same time, which is and I actually have to take this.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This very rarely happens.
Gonna be on a brief hold.
Yeah.
Let's poll the audience. All right. So,
Um,
how many people in the chat room stubbed their toe in the past month?
Stubbed their toe in the past month.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, we'll wait for the answers to roll in.
I don't know that I've even stubbed my toe in the past
You
month.
can answer no also, like if or NA. Not applicable.
I'm curious. I injure myself often, but I don't know if I've officially stubbed my toe. Oh,
No, you've done your pinky toe several times.
in the past month?
Not in the past month,
That's what I'm.
but that's like in a year, probably like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
wanna
it's
say-
miserable. I broke my pinky toe that way.
Couple years back, I
Or not broke the toe, but broke the toenail.
Couple years I'm drunk. Couple years back, I slammed it really hard into the side of my pinky toe, into the side of a computer desk,
Mm.
Oh,
and it was like
it's excruciating.
it was so bruised that it wasn't black, it was red.
Ah,
That's awful.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah,
so
the-
it had blood under the nail?
Oh no, not even under the nail. Like the nail was fine. The nail looked great. It was just like
mm.
bright
Ugh.
black.
Yeah,
red
I stubbed
and then-
mine the other
yeah,
day when I
it
took
hurts.
Shelly out. Shelly, our dog. I took her out for a walk, and like I was 10 steps out the door, and we have one of those things on the corner
Oh, you
that
were
keeps the
wearing
hose from
flip-flops.
getting too close to the house when you drag the garden hose out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I turned the corner too soon with my foot, and it was like pinky toe into it.
Yeah. In college, one time lived in a basement dorm, and so I didn't get very good cell reception down there. And I got a phone call and I needed to take it, and so I was running out because I was also right by the exit, to outside. So I was running out of my dorm to go up the stairs to the outside, and I tripped over my roommate's laundry basket and fell into the closet door with, my foot slammed in the door. Oh my gosh, my toe hurt. It was my big toe. It hurt so bad. It was bleeding under the toenail. It was awful. And then
Shut up, Jason.
oh my gosh.
Sent you that text in confidence.
Anyway, so as I was examining my toe, it was pretty gross. But then it was like 9 months later, and the toenail fell off. It had grown out most of the way.
That's an odd baby.
I know, right? But it had grown out most of the way, so that when the toenail, the dead part finally fell off, it was, I had most of a toenail left.
Oh, there you go.
So it was convenient,
Yeah.
especially because it was almost summer and I was going to be wearing sandals
That's
all
right.
the time.
See?
But yeah,
And
it was,
That's how I stubbed my toe. I was wearing sandals.
You were wearing
yeah,
sandals?
but it was
Okay.
It
really
was really
bad.
warm.
In the middle of February,
It was
right?
Yeah. mhm.
I love it.
Hey, it's the middle of February. Guess what? 70 degrees.
Love it. I
Yeah,
will never
okay.
complain.
Tomorrow, 12.
No, it's not. It's supposed to be in the 50s.
For how long?
I don't know. It's supposed to be pretty warm this week.
for like an hour.
It's supposed to be in the 50s all week.
And then it'll go right back down.
Are those Crocs?
How many people have you?
Everyone's checking out whose toes.
I don't know.
That's why he was wearing closed-toed sandals, because everyone was checking out his toes.
Well, it's different people saying that.
Yeah, but Jason's
Oh.
talking to King Freaker.
How do you have closed-toed sandals? Doesn't that that's not a sandal?
It's not a
Ma-
shoe.
Maybe there's a different definition as to what a sandal is, because house slippers can have a back. They can not have a back. Some
Yeah.
of them just have a strap over the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Maybe it's just the
confused.
material.
I want to see a picture.
That could be.
Pictures or it doesn't count.
Yeah, Pixar didn't happen. That's right.
Can you post pictures in there?
Sandal scandal.
Can you post pictures?
As long
in
as
this
we can
thing?
all agree that you don't wear socks with sandals.
No. You can emoji. Let me see what this is.
So I'm over there.
You
looking
can
at
emoji.
Is that Mr. Bean?
I don't know what it is. It when I hit it, it's code red coat.
Okay.
So
Sorry, personal emergency stuff.
Okay.
I can talk about it after we turn the stream off.
Okay.
Dan's game is what this one is.
Yeah.
That's
are
Dan's game.
Dan's
That's
game.
what the code is for that.
That guy looks like he smelled something horrible.
Okay.
So Dinosaur Island. Yeah, the game, like I said, the game looked complicated, but as we played it, it turned out to be it flowed a lot better because it's the theme is you're building your own Jurassic Park.
All right.
Everybody's building their own Jurassic Park.
Which island?
It's a
Any of
sloth.
them
Okay.
East?
depends.
Oh.
It depends.
Depends. All right.
Because the first thing the first stage 1 is just acquiring different forms of DNA and recipes of dinosaurs to build. And there's different mechanics for how you do that. Stage 2 is is either getting more of the DNA or potentially getting upgrades to your park that allow you to take different actions. So both of those are a turn-based thing. It's like I grab one thing, and you have like the first one is you have basically meeples. It's worker placement. It's I'm getting this and blocking other people from getting that.
Cool.
The third phase is like more of a real-time thing where you have all these workers, and then you can place them on your own personal board. But depending on what you've done in the previous turns determines how many workers you get for that phase. Like, instead of getting better things for your park, you could invest them to get more workers, so you have more actions to do. But that is more of everyone gets their engine set up the way they go. And then kind of stage 4 is more of the start the park and all the people
And all the
come in.
guests come and they got eaten by the dinosaurs.
Yeah, so there's 2 tracks. There's a threat and there's a security. And if your security's higher or if your threat's higher than your security, then people get eaten.
all right.
Which is really funny because so you have based on the number of dinosaurs determine how many people come to the park.
Right.
But depending on how many people or how many spaces you have or what upgrades you've done determines on how many people can actually get into the park. So like for me, I was having I had like a lot of dinosaurs, so like my threat was really high. But it was also I didn't have enough spots. So there are literally people waiting at the gate to go into a park where at least the theme of this was going through my head where it was like 5 people have died at this park, but there are people at the door.
That's right,
not able to get in.
It's
Yeah. That's so funny.
it's the
A new spot just opened up.
it's it's the precursor to the Futurama suicide booth. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, it was just
That was
like
in episode 1, wasn't it?
that was just funny to me as I'm sitting there planning this out, and it's just like I'm getting all these people, but they're dying, but yet I'm still getting people to come in.
Yeah, that's pretty amusing. It's one I would be interested in trying. Did you guys do the short game or a full game?
I don't know what the difference is.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like
How long
short,
did
medium, and long.
How long did it take you?
It took us a good 2 hours.
You probably did the regular.
yeah,
normal.
Like I
because-
think the short game is like only like 4 rounds.
Oh, wait. We may have done 4 rounds though.
Oh, I don't know then.
But by the
It's
time it went
kicking.
through, because you got 4 rounds and 4 phases. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I
Maybe
don't
you
know.
did the short game. I don't know.
Yeah, because it was like 1 o'clock by the time we finished. So then it was like because I had brought Rising Sun and was hoping to play it with a bunch of those people there, and then it's like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh, you're making me tired just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to punch out.
I know. Apparently, folks stayed till like 4 or 5 a.m.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
So
I
No,
mean,
thank
hey,
you.
if we would have actually rolled our end game with Tiamat, we would have been there till like 4 or 5
yeah,
o'clock.
that was yeah, we finished our D&D campaign with Tiamat, and it got to like again 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're like, let's just talk this out, how this would finish.
We're like, she hasn't actually risen onto this plane
Yeah.
yet, and it's 1 in the morning.
and we were like, this is it. This is the last session.
Hmm.
But Philip ended up sacrificing himself
That's right.
to free the people of the
Nice.
Forgotten Realms.
But we didn't die.
Hmm.
We're just on the astral plane over there.
All right.
Next to Chris's
I
gaming
can't help
taste
it,
planet.
Jason. I'm tired.
All right, Cindy, tell me about
Jason. She
a
says she's
game. I don't-
tired. Where'd
I
that
don't,
girl from?
I don't have the thing up to see.
All right. So this is a game that we got at PAX Unplugged called Cat Lady. And I wanted it so bad because 1, I heard really good things about it, and 2,
You heard good
It's
things from the person
cats.
selling it.
that's true.
Is
So
the person
they-
selling it a cat lady?
Might have been. I
Okay.
don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, it was also at the publisher's booth too. So
That's what I'm saying.
um
I hear they got a bridge to sell you.
but the way she was describing the game, it just
There's
sounded
good things about this bridge.
I'm not gonna talk anymore if you're gonna interrupt me.
I'm listening now. I'm done making fun.
Y'all are mean. So
Hi, Philip Herbig. Have we met?
whatever. Don't make Chris spit out his drink. You got me off
Cat
track
Lady.
now. I can't think of anything. So yeah, so I bought Cat Lady because it intrigued me, and we finally played it a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was just
I
a few
don't
days
know.
ago.
It was just a few days ago. And basically, it's a card game. And so you have a grid of, 3x3, so 9 cards in a 3x3 grid. And on the cards, you either have cats, toys, costumes,
There's
or
catnip also.
catnip, and food. And so when you select either a row or a column, and you take all the cards in that column. However, there's like this little cat token that goes on a row or column, and it basically says you can't choose this row or column this round, and it's always the one that was chosen
Last.
the last. So so if I take one, then the cat moves there, and that row can't be taken next turn. And so you collect the cards. You get 3 cards in your hand each turn, and cat cards automatically go down in front of you, and they have food that they require, and then costumes, catnip, all this other stuff goes in front of you, like face
your
down
hand, yeah.
in your hand. And so you're collecting all this stuff. Oh, and when you get food, instead of taking the card, you trade it in for the required or the food that you get from it, and then you can feed your cats with it, that kind of thing.
Wooden cubes.
Yeah, they're little wooden
Ooh.
cubes. And so by the end of the game, you have a array of cats that you have in front of you, and you can even collect stray cats too. They usually have some sort of cool scoring condition that you can do with them, or some sort of benefit. Yeah, so you have this array of cats, and every cat that you are able to fully feed scores you points. Plus, catnip scores you points based on how much you have. It's kind of like a not necessarily a most catnip. It's like if you have like one catnip, it's this many points. 2 and 3, it's this many.
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of
it's like
thing.
a collection thing.
Yes, that collection. There you go. In a way.
That's
And
per
the
fed
toys-
cat that you have is what you get points for with the catnip.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Then the toys, there are different kinds of toys, and that truly is set collection. So if you have like one of all 6 toys, it's 12 points. So if there's
Might
like
have been
15
15.
points. I don't know. And so you can have multiple sets. And then the costumes, the player who has the most costumes scores points, and if you don't have any costumes, you don't score any points.
No,
or you
if
lose a
you
point.
lose points
you lose a
if
point.
you don't have at least one costume.
Oh, wow.
So you
Because
have to
you're-
be a true cat
because
lady.
you're a cat
because you're a
lady.
cat lady, and
You're
who
a cat
dresses
lady.
up their
Yeah.
cat?
All right, I got you.
So anyway,
I
it's
got
a fun little game.
Who
and
makes this game?
It's AEG.
AEG.
Yeah.
Oh, because I have not. You would think cat person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I bet if I saw the box, I'd recognize it.
It's a cute little game.
how
I mean,
big? How big of a?
It's tiny. The box is
It's-
maybe
yeah,
like that big.
And how quick of it? It sounds like it was
It's a
pretty
quick
quick.
game.
Yeah, it's
like
like
20
20
minutes.
minutes.
Now that's a good question. If you come to the game wearing a cat suit and with a few cats, do you win before the game even starts?
Yes, but then you start a new game.
Okay.
Then there's the next game of where you have to. It's an escape room game.
Ah,
where
yes.
They bring in a straitjacket.
Oh my
and
gosh.
take you
Made
away.
of cats.
Yeah. Anyway, so we.
But
you know,
then
we
all you
got
have to do is put down the Chuck Norris card, and you automatically win every game within 10 miles.
Oh my gosh.
We'll come back to you. Yeah.
So I think it was a cute little game. I mean, it's not gonna be like my favorite game ever, but it's definitely a nice little filler. And I'm curious to try it with more players though, because it wasn't bad at 2, but we had to take out quite a few cards.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm curious what it would be like with more. You get the extra food cards and things in there.
Sounds like a good waiting on, or we can't decide what to play yet kind
Yeah.
of game.
It was enjoyable. Like I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
All right, Colin.
So we also
Weed?
played WE also played Topiary.
Oh, that's right. You just got that.
Yeah. From Renegade. Also, it's like our publisher of choice lately.
Everybody's. That's why I made the joke, because it just people cannot stop talking about Renegade.
They've got some really good
They've
games
got-
coming out
All
right
right,
now.
They're so
Can
hot
we-
right now.
Can we put like a sidebar? Come back to Topiary, but I want to talk about Renegade for a second. Just that it's amazing how much, because Renegade's actually a split off from Cryptozoic.
Yeah, the head used to work for Cryptozoic.
And some of I think some of the employees, like they've branched out and gotten other people, but a lot are like some of the initial employees were from Cryptozoic.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Cryptozoic is kind of panned in the industry because they usually focus on like IP sort of games. So it's actually kind of amazing to see how people can't shut up about Renegade games and all their stuff.
Yeah.
Just that dichotomy was interesting to me.
Yeah.
But Topiary, sorry.
So Topiary is from Danny Devine.
Which is like one of my favorite.
He's
designers.
turning into he did Ghost Love Candy, and he was in on he was one of the dessert. What? Yes.
Is that an alter ego of Danny DeVito?
No.
No, Danny
Danny Devine.
Devine. He's so fine.
He blows my mind.
But
So
he was one of the designers
Alex,
for.
Topiary, it literally is a game where you have hedge designs.
Yeah, it's a game of competitive hedge looking.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, Danny Devine, he did Ghost Love Candy, which we reviewed before, and he did the art for that. He also did the art for this.
Okay.
And he also was part of Circle the Wagons, which we really liked.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
So, it seemed like
He's like one of your new
and
favorites.
Harvest Dice. He did Harvest
That's
Dice,
right, he
which
did
I
that
love.
also.
Harvest Dice.
But anyway, competitive hedge looking. So in this game, you have a 5x5 grid. The middle tile is face up. The rest are face down. On your turn, you have a hand of 3 tiles. You place one of your visitors. In a 2-player game, you have 8 visitors. You put one of them either looking down a row, looking down a column, or looking on a diagonal. And you put them there and pick up a tile in their line of sight. And you look at it, and then you put one down where the tile was.
Does the diagonal only work at the 4 corners, or is it also
It
like
can
the
work
can work
anywhere,
anywhere.
but you're
and
going to
the-
have
okay.
less tiles.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's always on the outer ring or outer
Yeah.
edges. There we go.
But yeah, and then you can put down any tile from your hand, then 4 tiles back where that tile was. The goal is for your visitors to have ascending numbers, because the topiaries have different levels ranging from 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to have the lower numbers closer to you and the higher numbers farther away, so you can see all of the hedges.
Okay. All right.
And so if you get a 5 right in front of you, you're not going to see anything behind it. But if you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ascending away from you, you're going to see everything and get all those points. And the points per the number on the tile.
And there's different sets of styles of the hedges.
Like
Or
there's a
topiaries.
Tyrannosaurus, and
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah. Here.
And there's an elephant. There's
just like a triangle.
triangle. Then
Simple ones also.
There's like a bulbous shape.
Anyway, so yeah,
Anyway.
you get bonuses based on the set, is what I think she was
yeah,
getting at.
exactly.
If you see multiples of the same one in a row, you'll get like plus 1 point per one. And you also get bonus points based on what tiles you have left in your hand at the end. Like if there's a bigger one visible on the board that's in your hand,
Of
like
the
if you're
same
holding like the
style.
3 of the Tyrannosaurus and there's a 5 visible, or a 4 even, then you'll get those 3 extra points at the end. And so those are the 3 ways you really make points, and most points wins. It comes down to being kind of an abstract game,
Sounds like
but
it.
it's really pretty though.
It is very pretty. The art, oh my gosh. Well, I love Danny Devine's
It's
artwork
cute.
anyway. But
I'm
yeah,
surprised
these
you
little
didn't bring it
hedges
with
are
you.
so adorable.
Yeah, I it slipped.
Yeah, the hedges are so adorable. Like the little elephants. Oh, swans. That was another one.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, they're just so stinking cute.
There's little there's like butterfly squirrels
Yep.
and other little critters
Except
in
for
there.
on the ones have no animals,
like the
but
more-
all the other tiles
The
have
higher the
animals
number
on
gets,
them.
the more animals there are.
It's so adorable. I love his artwork.
So you got a Tyrannosaurus, an elephant, a swan. Do you get like the Power Ranger symbol going a little further there?
Oh, but also the visitor meeple things that you're putting down,
Oh, they're different.
they're all
per
different
character.
shapes, and the green players are actual people in wheelchairs.
They have wheelchairs. It's really
As
cool.
They're like going real diverse with the things.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really
Apparently, people are requesting these as just like a standalone component to add to other games.
cool. Oh,
And
really?
so Renegade's going to be putting out these things in different colors.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, I learned that in their broadcast that they do like Wednesday nights now.
Didn't know they did that.
They do a live video on YouTube every Wednesday.
They do giveaways. I've won twice. I've got a copy
So wait,
of
we
Flatline
usually
coming.
record on Wednesday nights.
It's at 9:00.
Oh, so is that why you guys are spurting out of here so quickly?
No.
No, they
No.
just don't want to hear
He's-
anything RPG related. Oh, it burns. It
He's
burns.
only watched it, I think, twice, right?
And you won both times?
And it
3
happens.
times. I came in like
Okay.
halfway on one time.
Yeah, but it's happened to be that he's watched it when we haven't recorded. So
But yeah, it's good.
Sorry, Chris, I'm busy. We can't record this date. Hey, why do I see you? Why do you see you in the chat room for Renegade?
That's,
I don't know what you're talking. That's
No, that was the
completely-
one place I couldn't get that username. Somebody already took it.
But it says the protagonist.
Mm. Yeah. They
Is
got me
that going to
good.
be your thing where you're just going to have like a different code name? At
I'm
the begin-
hoping, yeah. If I can think of something each time, I'll have to come in ready.
My
That's
name's
thing.
Collin. I'm the pseudonym.
Ooh, I should have had that.
oh my god.
All right, Philip, tell us about a game.
A game. So, I didn't bring them with me, but I received.
Oh, that's right. You did actually. I was joking, but you have
That's
actually
right.
gotten an in.
I received final payment from Gale Force 9 for
Oh.
helping them at Gen Con. The Borg
The Borg
assimilation
assimilation.
game expansion, not just player character expansion. They also sent us, because they knew it, they were like, yeah, this took a while, and we had to break it up into a couple parts. So each faction now has their own themed dice.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
I mean, the game comes with a set of 10 D6s. They're just blue with white dots. But now you have, like, your Klingon die. The 6 is the Klingon symbol, and, like, Romulan, that kind of stuff. They're red and black and green and all. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone has themed dice now for their characters. It's got the models inside. It's so when I was demoing the game at Gen Con, the guy was like, "Yeah, so this Borg stuff is 100% not what it's going to look like during production run. It's 100% what it looks like." I mean, like, somebody probably was like, yeah, so that works. Why don't we just put that in production? Like, okay, cool. And I also got Firefly, Brigands in Brown Coats.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Opened up the game, looked through it. I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I was flipping through, reading some of the rules, looking at how you like move your characters and do your actions. I was like, this is Star Wars Imperial Assault with a Firefly skin.
Ah.
Okay. I mean,
That sounds like something I'd play.
yeah. I mean, Star Wars Imperial Assault was a cool game. All right, just with all like the movement and everything, and trying to rules lawyer a
Oh,
bunch
that's right.
of
We
the,
did play that.
yeah,
I
we
was like,
played
when
that.
have you played that? But yeah, we did.
Yeah, trying to do the rules lawyering with your
Yeah.
like line of sight and all that kind of stuff, and like, well, I mean,
That's
he
not-
is
that's not-
blocked, but he's not blocked, but he
Me
is
and
blocked.
you have different definitions of fun.
What?
Because that was annoying to me. I hate line of sight games
Oh.
or rules in games. They're
Mm.
because they're always different.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like, wait, how does line of sight work in this game?
yeah, I mean, luckily we agree on line of sight in X-wing
Yeah,
because it's like, oh, we bought those awesome laser
Yeah.
pointers. Bing,
Anyways.
bing. Yeah.
but you haven't played.
Haven't played it. I mean, they also sent us a bunch of. So originally, with the very first shipment of stuff I got a Mal on a Rock mini.
Nice.
There.
Neat.
Is it naked?
It is. It's naked Mal on a rock.
Nice.
It's just gray plastic resin that they cast real quick. So they were like, "Hey, we sent you some other promotional stuff." So there's like little towers with like monitors on them and just weird stuff that you can make obstacles in your on the board. And I'm going through stuff. I'm like, "Hey, another Mal on a rock. I've got 2 Mals on a rock. This is a little weird. All right, whatever." There's 2 of each player character. One of them it's gray plastic resin when you're just I'm doing my normal thing, just wandering down the market. And then there's a green, slightly bigger, like heroic pose is like when you're doing hero stuff. And I'm just like I keep remembering, like every time I hear hero or like that guy's a hero, and I'm remembering Serenity, where she's like, "Do you know what a hero's job is? It's to get other people killed."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want to be a hero anymore. Like, can I just be a good guy, do good things?
So, by the way,
just.
to tie into to transition into my thing, I've been up the road a lot at games and stuff, and by a lot I mean twice in like the past week. Where
That's a lot.
Yeah. But while I was up there, did you know that for Star Trek Ascendancy, you can buy extra packs of the ships and star bases?
Yes.
So that, like, if you want to extend your game, because you're limited with, under normal rules, you're limited to the number of ships and star bases and stuff you have in the box. But this is if you want a more epic game, then you buy, but you have to have enough for every player.
You do have to, yeah. So it's like, oh, I can't just buy like 20 extra Federation ships.
Yeah,
and just take you guys. I got to make the game even for everybody.
So,
dang it.
But speaking of which, one of the things I did when I was at, because Fantasy Flight announced way back in like October last year this invocation event that they were doing for Arkham Horror.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet, like an organized play for a co-op game. This is kind of weird, but okay, I'll try it out. And I managed to get a bunch of people around here to like say, yeah, we'll do it. And we managed to get our local store to order the kit, and we could never agree on a time to play.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I keep bugging, like we have a little chat going, and like every week I'd be like, what about this week? But everyone's like, no, not this week, and no. But then I looked on games and stuff, and they're like, we're having an event this Sunday. I was like, I'm just gonna go, and that way they can do their thing whenever. So, and like,
can you not participate in more than one?
you could, but I'm saying now I don't have to, because I wanted to only for
it's
this.
A pay to entry.
It's a pay to entry because you get this sweet playmat.
Nice.
This was the main reason I wanted to go.
That is
hideous.
so gross.
This is awesome.
That is hideously awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
But I just love the artwork for the Fantasy Flight stuff, and this is so cool.
What is that thing?
It's a monster.
Looks like a
I figured it had a name. It's like
I have no idea.
It's like
Looks
part,
like
so the way
part demon dog, part
looks
dragon.
like a demo dog
part
with wings is
Cthulhu.
what it looks
Yeah.
like.
So the problem is that they did the weird part about this is that they didn't have a set scenario to go with it. It was just supposed to be more of a, hey, play this, bring your favorite scenario and play it there. Like, I feel like if it was going to be themed like this, they should have had like a special promo.
Yeah.
What are you wanting it?
Oh.
You all right there?
Oh, he knows what it's called, apparently.
It's the Demogorgon. No, it's Stranger Things is what you
Oh.
say it.
That is not
But-
the Demogorgon.
No, it's not.
It's Subject B77 is what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what's on its ear tag.
So, and the way that they sold it in all the descriptions I saw was come bring decks of your use the custom deck building rules that they have for a single scenario event. Bring a scenario, and then you can use these cards to like make it harder. And that was the whole thing: is you use these invocation cards to make it harder. Like the game needed to be harder, FYI. No. But I get up there and we're waiting. Like there's a couple. They haven't opened the doors yet because this was like bright and early on Sunday morning. And one of the guys is like, "Oh, I'm actually running the event." And it turns out that no, we're not doing just some random whatever our favorite scenario is. He got them to order a specific number of kits because we're running the special event that they ran at both Gen Con and the Arkham Knights event that they had in October,
Oh, wow.
which is the Labyrinths of Lunacy event, which is going to be available eventually. And I was blown away by this set. It completely turned my opinion on the Arkham Horror LCG. Like, I had already loved it, but this is like, you can do this? Because, first of all, it's not a because, the single scenarios go, like, 1 to 4 players.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't up to a 12-person event.
Oh, my.
Wow.
There are 3 tables of up to 4 people.
Wow.
And it's basically Saw. Like, the scenario is you wake up in a room and, like, one of your people is trapped, and you got to figure out how to get him out. And it turns Arkham Horror LCG into an escape room game.
Wow.
that's
Like,
cool.
it's spent it using the exact same mechanics, but it's spun it like there are 3 groups, and you can't talk to the other groups except for there are certain cards that'll come into play, except for it's better. Like, we played one of the unlocks, and there's one where it's like you're separated into 2 groups, and you're not allowed to talk at all unless you do the one thing that allows you to get these 2 cards together, which eventually means you can talk.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't do it in that exact order, you're boned. No, but this is like almost like at the end of every round, there was like a triggering event of some kind that allowed like this person and that person to go away and talk.
Oh, wow.
Because there was like one point, I'm not going to give a whole away a lot because it's awesome, but there was one point where like, we've done everything we could do. There's literally nothing else we can do, but we can't finish the thing.
Hey, that's how we felt during Unlocked.
But then we were like, oh, we're not supposed to be able to do it by ourselves. We're supposed to have to rely on getting help from the other groups. And then when we realized that, we were able to unlock stuff and proceed.
Cool.
But yeah, it was really weird because it's not this like Cthulhu horror mythos game. This is, like like I said, it turned it into an escape room style game.
Cool.
That's
And
awesome.
I was just like fascinated that you could do, like, it showed how there's so many things that you could do with this game system. And I'm definitely getting that scenario because I think you can also play it as a solo group, kind of not like solo one person, but like as a 1 group thing instead of 3.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'd love to play it again because I had to leave early because they didn't. They advertised as like it's starting here and it's stopping here, and I had something planned for after that because we were going to see Black Panther, and it was like I want to keep going, but I also really want to see Black Panther, so deuces.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, so I didn't even get to experience. I only experienced maybe like a quarter of the game,
Oh, okay.
like maybe a third,
Cool.
but it was amazing, and I got promo stuff.
Very cool.
And now I'm like, maybe I need to go to Arkham Knights 2018 because, like, as much as I enjoy the organized play events for competitive things, cooperative stuff seems to be more my bag. Mainly because I can get other people like Phil to play. So, all right. Did you guys have anything else?
If you can wake me up that early.
Huh?
If you can wake me up that early.
Well, for Arkham Knights, we'd be traveling to Minnesota.
Ah, Minnesota.
We'd go to Gaming Mecca.
Ah,
Don't you know?
don't you know?
Yeah.
you guys-
We're
gamed
good.
out.
We're
Is
good
it time
with-
to move on to our list?
It
Yeah,
is
let's do it.
time.
Yay! So we are 2 episodes away from 100. This episode and 1 more. So we are getting close to our favorite games of all time. So we are doing a counting down number 30 to 21.
Oh, in episode 100, we'll have.
Yes, the top 10.
Got it. I'm like, Chris, we timed this wrong.
Jason's piecing out for HQ Trivia. And then,
In 18 minutes.
yeah, Philip's going to be zonked out here in a minute. Checking that out. So
Only for like 4 minutes because I keep getting knocked out real early.
Colin, I'll start with you. Let's go. Any general comments about 30 to 21?
About like patterns.
Did you notice any patterns or themes?
like
Like last time, my theme was these are games that might go up higher if I played them more. This time, I have a feeling this section of the list is probably going to stay this way. It's a pretty solid. Like most of these games, I've played multiples of times. Yeah, like this is where you start getting into the like staples. These are like my staples.
And that's probably what I would say about mine too. Like some of these may shift up, some may shift down, but most of these will probably stay in my top 50.
Yeah, like most of these will probably stay in this section of the list if I made it again like next year. They'd stay within 30 to 21.
I don't know about mine. I feel like there's already a couple in here that I would not even have on this list at all.
All right, Cindy, you want to start? Number 30.
Okay. My number 30 is Lewis and Clark.
That's not the dice version. That's Discovery's, right?
Yes,
Right.
Discovery's
Discovery's
dice.
yeah.
So Lewis and Clark is this. Basically, you are a journey. You're one of the members on the team of Lewis and Clark, traveling from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean. And
Fort Clatsop.
yeah, there you go.
It's the final
And
camp.
it's kind of like it's a card and board game together of sorts.
It's
'Cause
hand
you have
building.
hand building, because you have a hand of cards and they allow you to do certain actions.
Like Century Spice Road, kind of.
No,
Okay. I was trying.
Well,
Kind of related,
maybe.
but on a,
I
on
was
a
trying to
heavier
draw
level.
comparisons to games that like
Yeah,
Philip
you
Martin
could.
played.
Is that the game I brought back for you?
No,
No,
that was the travel.
that was
That
Trek in the
that was
National
Trek in the
Park.
Trek in the
Parks.
National Parks. Okay.
So there's a board. I've lost my
There's a
train of
board
thought
and it's a
completely.
game.
I lost my train of thought.
Number
completely.
30.
You've got cards in your hand. You can
Yes.
play
So-
cards, or you have
Or you can
little
place
Indians.
on the board to take an action.
Okay.
And so some of the action, like in your card, some of the things you can do with a card is get wood, get meat, get stone. You can move your thing, your
It's not stone; it's equipment.
equipment. I'm sorry. You could move your convoy along the
Mhm.
river, and just things like that. And then the cool thing about the cards though is they have to be activated with another card. So each card is double-sided, and the one side shows you the action, and the other side tells you how powerful the card is. And when you activate a card, one gets upside down and one gets right side up. And depending on how powerful the card is that you've activated it with, that's how many times you can activate. So like if it's a 1 or a 2 or even a 3, you can do that action that many times. And then on the board, you have things like you can trade in resources for canoes, trade in resources for horses, get resources, buy new cards, things like that. And so you're just trying to make your way along the Missouri, not just the Missouri River, but make your way along the river and then climb over mountains and end up at the Pacific Ocean.
And no, not like Oregon Trail.
No, not at all like Oregon Trail.
Can you?
So
trade wheat
why
for
is
sheep?
this on? Why is this number 30?
I really like the way it works. It
Because it was better than
makes
number
you-
31, but not as good as number 29.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. I like the little bit of hand management that you have. Like, do I use this card to activate, or do I use this card for its action
power it.
ability, or do I wait to make camp until I have all my cards down, or because you'll go back spaces based on how far, like in order to settle your camp. I'm describing this horribly.
No, it's
I am
okay.
so I don't
It's
know why
alright.
I'm so distracted tonight.
It's a heavier
just
game.
awful.
But yeah, depending on how full your boats are and how many cards you have in your hand,
And how many
when you make
yeah.
camp, which is when you get to pick all your cards back up, you'll go back that many spaces on the river.
If you have more than the allotted
Okay.
stuff available.
All right. I can see that. I can see that rule. I can.
Yeah,
picture
so
that.
it's basically slowing you down by
Mm.
'Cause
having
you
your
have
boats
too
more
much.
full
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So there's that aspect, and then just I like the theme a lot. It's
Okay.
a very historical themey game, I think, because in the rule book there's actually
Trivia
There's a
facts.
little
kind of
snippet.
it's historical facts about each of the people, because all of the cards that you're acquiring is a real person that Lewis and Clark met in their journey.
and they're all different.
And they're all different. It's amazing. So I really like the theming behind it, and it's a thinky game, but I really like it a lot.
Cool. And for in the chat room, yes, I've played Boss Monster. It's pretty fun. It gets a little old eventually, but I love the artwork
Mm.
on it.
Just trying to find
8-bit.
it, or did you trade it off?
It's here.
It's here. Okay.
Somewhere. It may be on that. It may be over on that shelf.
You know what we need to do?
What?
We need to break out Super Fight.
So how about you, Chris? Number 30.
Do you want? Actually, you go. We'll
Me?
go counter this time.
Ooh, okay. So my number 30 is a game we talked about relatively recently, Flip Ships.
Hey,
nice.
you just got this, didn't you?
We got it.
I thought
You-
you said you
In
just got it.
December, I think.
Yeah, Was it that reason? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dexterity game, flicking
I wanna
ships
try
to
this,
land on
yeah.
cards, and it's a blast. I like playing it by myself because it's more likely I'll win that way.
Whatever. He's mean.
I don't know. You win at a
I did much-
dexterity game is pretty common.
I won. I was doing much better than you the last time we played.
That's true. I think you absorbed some of my energy. But anyway,
Whatever.
Flip Ships is a fun game. Dexterity, great stuff.
So my number 30 is actually a game most people have heard of. Like even people like in the chat room that normally know nothing about board games.
Jenga.
No, the Pokemon TCG.
Ah, yeah. I have heard
Okay.
of that.
Mainly because I play this a lot with my wife, and especially their digital app integration is great. Like, I don't know why Magic has not been doing this. It's great. So every time you buy a booster pack, a starter kit, there's a QR code, and you scan it, and you get that exact same copy in the digital. It made it like if you get a booster pack, it's going to be a booster pack of that set, so the cards may be randomized,
Mhm.
but basically you have the same number of cards in print as you do digitally.
So is the QR code inside the pack?
It's inside the
okay,
pack.
Okay.
That used to was the old Game Boy Color
Yeah.
Pokemon trading card game. There was a peripheral you could buy for your Game Boy.
Yeah, that was the camera.
And there was the camera. There was also almost a barcode scanner
Yeah.
on the side of the cards, and you could slide the card in.
Oh, yes,
nice.
I
Yep.
remember that.
You could add trainers into some of the Pokemon games to like, oh, I want to fight this trainer, and he's going to be on
Yeah.
this road as soon as
That
when
was
I
on the
swipe him
Game
into
Boy
the game.
Advance or whatever, I think.
Yeah, it was Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's Pokemon. I love Pokemon. Me and my wife are big, huge fans, and it's one of those that you buy getting all the cards is almost as fun as just playing the game. But me and my wife will build decks and we'll play on the app. That seems to be our deals. We like playing app games together, where I can be on my iPad, she can be on hers. And
Alex, I can't answer that definitively.
yeah, I did not. I played Yu-Gi-Oh, but I only played it twice, so I did not investigate enough to get
Okay, gotcha. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
I did watch the first season.
Yeah.
Or the first series.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch any of the GX.
when
and
it, yeah,
other stuff.
when it stuck with Yugi and Kaiba,
Yeah.
that I watched that. And then it started
So-
getting all.
All right, 29.
My 29 is one that we've all played, and that is Flick 'em Up.
Hey.
Hey.
Dexterity, fun.
Hey, wasn't Flick 'em Up on mine?
No, you had Flick 'em Up Dead of Winter. I
Yeah,
think.
but still.
That's gonna be one of my dishonorable mentions.
I know Philip does not like flicking games.
I don't like flicking games.
Anyway,
Now that I understand that a dexterity game
does not equal flicking
does
game.
not equal
Mhm.
flicking game. Okay, because like what's the
Hop.
hop? Yeah, that one's all right. I like that one mostly because I can like be get in your way.
Don't table that. We'll come back to that.
Okay, we're tabling
right.
that.
Anyway, yeah. So Flick 'em Up. The version that I like is just the original. I'm not the Dead of Winter one didn't really do much for me because I'm not a big
I'm not surprised at this.
yeah, I'm not a big zombie fan. And so Flick 'em Up, you have two teams. I mean, it could be 1 versus 1, whatever. It doesn't matter. But and each team has a set of cowboys. It's the outlaws
and
versus the
lawmen.
lawmen, and there's different scenarios you can go through, or you can just choose one and go for it. But trying to flick the little dude. Well, you're not flicking the dudes. You have a little disc that replaces the dudes. You flick the disc, and that's where your guy ends up. And you're it's a shootout style game where you're trying to
Yeah.
shoot the other people.
I will say though, one big thing, I don't like the system that they use for when your guys have gone. I like that better in Dead of
do
Winter,
like that
where it's
better
the
in the-
backpack that you
yes.
twist versus the
The-
hat
Yeah.
that you
Yep,
flip.
yep. The backpack is much easier
Although
to.
the stickers don't stay very well on the
That's true.
backpacks.
Yeah, the
Although-
backpack is much easier to.
Most of the time,
deal with,
I
I
figured out
think.
though, most of the time that you're needing to flip the hat, like we were putting the guy back down and then flipping the hat, but most of the time you're going to have the guy in your hand, so you can just flip it before you put it back
That's
down.
I know,
True.
but just that flip, I like the backpack turn.
Yeah.
too.
But another reason why I like the regular version better is because it's wooden, whereas the Dead of Winter is
Oh,
plastic.
That's true. Yeah,
And I
because you
just
got
like
the
the-
deluxe version.
Yeah.
Well, it's the original, really,
Yeah. Well,
and I just really like the
because
feel
the plastic
of the wood.
version came later.
well, I know, but that's It is still a deluxe version.
Oh,
It
yeah,
is
yeah,
technically, yeah.
Yeah.
So I really like that wooden texture.
And it's a
feel.
Western theme.
It
I
is.
mean,
That is very true. It is Western.
you could just say
themed.
it's Western. That's end of story.
We've
That's
got
why
a
it's-
win-win-win scenario
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Look at that,
All right.
look at that.
where I win too.
Look 'em up.
Can we? I want to go through. I want to go through both your lists and just like
How
put a
many Western-
mark next to Western games.
Okay.
You'd be putting a mark next to like everything on my list.
Right?
No, not really.
That'd
But
be
your-
like-
Okay,
that'd be
so for
like-
yours, I would do. Okay, what's not a Western game?
For me, it would be like, what's not an Asmodee game?
There we go. Yeah. What's
yeah.
All right, Colin.
so my number 29 was it?
yeah.
Is Alhambra.
Not played it, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is actually one of
did you
those
forget
old
about this one?
classics that I've...
no. I'm just surprised it's that high.
It's yeah, it's
a tile
great gateway game,
right?
and Philip
Yeah.
doesn't believe that he played this, but I know he did.
Yeah, this was on my list a couple weeks ago.
But
Yeah. I think it was in your 50.
It was in my 50 to 41.
oh, okay, that's what you meant by high. But anyway, so yeah, tile laying. You're buying different buildings, putting them into your little town, your building, your Alhambra, and you're scoring points for having the most of stuff and for your walls having the like long contiguous sections of wall. And it's a great time, and I win it a lot.
He does.
All right.
But that's not why.
I think I'm gonna do. Yeah. No, that's what we'll go through your list. All right, is like which games does Colin win a lot? There we go.
Yeah, there's a game on this list that I've only won like a handful of times,
Okay.
and Colin or Phillips played it. But anyways, you remember the game? You remember how I was talking about Hop? We'll get back to it
Yes.
because my 29 is Hop.
All right.
I like I said, it reminds me of the Double Dare physical challenges.
It really
Yeah.
does.
Where it's I don't care about the score. Like you could get rid of the you could get rid of the tower and stuff and just have it be the having people throwing the rings and trying to get it on in different ways.
It really could have
And
just
the
been like a
betting.
board with 9 spaces on it.
Yeah,
or
and the
whatever.
betting and stuff. Yeah, it's actually one
7.
of the beefs I've heard against it, where it's
just
overproduced. So it's
Yeah.
more like for the game, the type of game it is, it's expensive. Yeah, because there's all these colored plastic miniatures, but I love it.
It's a great game. I love it.
It's probably
too.
the one dexterity game I don't like. It's funny because everyone else in the
Like,
group
I
likes
love
it.
it.
Right.
I love it, but I'd be willing to play other things. That's I guess kind of where it is. It's just it's like like I said, it's a staple where I'll just play it.
I almost
Yeah.
want to make the ring lighter.
Is
It's
that
already
possible?
pretty light.
No,
Cause what?
you
'cause
can make it
it's-
out of plastic.
I was
and
gonna
it'd
say
be
make it
lighter.
out of like a. Cause what's it made out of now?
It's
made
foam.
out of.
Um,
It's foam now.
mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like a malleable foam.
It's-
But it's
It's
thick
pretty
foam.
light.
it is thick. Yeah. So I would like make it like Nerf dart foam.
I think it is that.
Oh, that's
foam.
yeah. It's
That's what it is.
Have you played this game?
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
It's really soft. Like you can.
yeah, you can bend it and
back
everything.
forth.
Make it like a lighter.
You know what? That's something. I wonder if you bend it, if you can get like
Trick shot.
trick
oh,
shots.
put a little. Yeah.
I might
put a little-
accidentally throw
Cindy's
it straight.
gonna break it out. So yeah. There you go. Hey.
All right. Yeah, you are next.
So while she's doing that, so that reminds me of a game called Celtic Pride. Anyone ever see that?
Isn't it Celtic Pride?
It's the basketball team. So I think
Oh,
it's
it's the-
Celtics.
The New York Celtics. Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, don't be afraid to fire a warning shot. Oh, I'm a terrible shot. I might hit him.
All right, Cindy.
All right.
28.
Oh, it's that-
28.
It's that
Oh.
fabric decal that throws me off because that's got a little rigidity to it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my 28 is Fields of Arl. This is a 2-player game by Uwe Rosenberg.
Soon
But
to be
it's a-
3-player.
Oh yeah,
No, it's out.
it's
it's
been
out?
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's out.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I've only ever played the original, but I mean, it's a pretty heavyweight game. It's definitely not like his 2-player patchwork style game.
This is a Nuve game?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
I played it. I've actually
Yeah.
played this game.
You've played
Mhm.
Fields of Arl?
I
Oh,
have
wow.
played Fields of Arl. It's boring.
Aw.
It's a farming game.
And you
is a
didn't
farming
realize
game.
it was a Nuve game?
Just your enthusiasm, where you're like, oh, I played this game.
Well, that's because
Game
like
sucked.
usually they're games I haven't played.
Yeah. So Fields of Arl, like Colin said, it's a farming game, but it's also there's a lot going on in this
You're
game.
shipping goods and stuff.
You're
and-
shipping goods. You're trying to.
I'm gonna need you to clip that out. Oh yeah, I played Fields of Arl. Yeah, I played Fields of Arl.
Yeah. So and there's a huge board that is kind of like your, I guess it's your action selection board is really what it is. And
It's worker placement.
yeah, and then you
Mhm.
have 2 phases. You got your spring. On the board you have spring and fall, and then summer and winter happen just kind of in the background of sorts, right? What
Kind
happens
of,
in
yeah,
summer and winter?
yeah.
So yeah, you're selecting your actions, and it's kind of like upgrading your tools or your various things. You can you're trying to get rid of your peat. Their bogs,
You're
basically.
clearing out the bog. You got
You're
your
clearing
peat.
out the
You're
bog,
trying
and
to,
you're collecting
but
peat,
you can,
and you're trying to ship. You're
The
trying
camera
to.
froze.
Yeah, the camera froze.
I love the
Well,
face
no,
that you have on.
I texted someone in the chat. That screen froze.
Yeah.
Twitch is fine.
Oh, Twitch is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so a good way to get points is by shipping goods, because when you ship your goods, you get to move up along this
It's like
the
a
road.
path,
It's like
yeah.
a path, a road, but the further along in that path you are, the more points you're going to get from it. I mean, there's plenty of other ways to get points too, by having upgraded tools and
And that's what it is.
things
It's
like
it's
that.
like it's an open world kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's you can get points doing whatever you want, really.
right. And the animals are so cool in
They look
that.
like Bane.
I like that Uwe's games all have little animal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all of them, but a lot of his.
Animeeples.
Yeah, his animeeples. They're so nice.
Good choice.
I'm
good
really
choice.
bad at that game. But
Hey, Philip, have you
I
ever
enjoy
played
it.
the Pokemon trading card game?
I did not play the game,
Okay.
but when we were in Germany, my sister and I were heavy into just collecting the cards.
Okay, because I just did a count because I was like, hey, Philip's played that. You have played 8 of this top 10.
All
Or
right.
of this section of 10.
Oh.
Anyways, Colin, 28.
So 28 for me is it's the classic Carcassonne.
Hey, another one I've
That's one
played.
I haven't played.
And it's actually not that bad.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for approving.
But one I would actually prefer playing Kingdom Builder over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I know
I
you
can agree
would.
with that. But yeah. It's a good tile laying game, matching up stuff, getting points,
Now,
meeples.
are we talking base Carcassonne? Or do you play with a lot of expansions added in?
we just added it.
We just tried out the second expansion.
Which one is that?
It's the
Oh, that's one
Traders
that
and
adds
Builders.
the bags and stuff too, right?
It adds a bag.
Or
it
no,
adds
one
pigs.
bag. Yeah.
It's got the pigs.
I've not played. I've only played the first expansion that adds in the extra player and the bigger.
Yeah.
the cathedrals.
The second expansion definitely makes it a lot more thinky.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fine just playing
Even just playing
plain
the base.
vanilla. With
Yeah.
I mean with the river. I
Yeah.
like with the river.
Yeah.
I do too because it makes every game a little different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'll do the first time I'm teaching the game.
Oh, that's,
I
that's
always
easy
will.
enough. It actually kind of makes it easier
Well,
for
it
people to
depends. Like if I'm
ease
playing
into it.
against gamers, yes.
Oh, okay.
But if
yeah,
I'm playing against someone who's like never really played games,
Hmm.
I try to go simple. Like
Huh.
eliminate all.
I almost think it's easy because like they have to match up the river.
Yeah.
Like they're like okay, so you match up. They get used to matching up like things. Like okay,
yeah,
the river
but then
matches up
those
the
rules
river.
become irrelevant when you get those tiles down. That's why I'm saying like.
Yeah, I know, but they get used to matching stuff up though, and then
Don't
'cause that's the whole-
criticize
that's
me for the
whole
way I
game is
teach
matching
games.
things. You do things your way, I'll do it my way.
All right, 28 Suro.
Oh.
It's for me. Another tile laying game.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
This
Where
one
you
is on
match things up.
Original Suro, not
original.
Serpent of
Oh
that-
yeah.
that screw
Oh
that
yeah.
nonsense.
Suro of the Seas is garbage. Utter garbage.
They should feel ashamed for making that game.
Yeah, like Suro. The reason Suro is great is because it's simple and it's
Mhm.
quick and it's easy to teach. Like I can literally. They're like, I don't know how to play this game. I'm like, while I set the game up, I will teach you the game. And by the time I finish setting the game up, you'll know how to play.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is it that much setup? No, it just takes that less of time to teach the game. But all those reasons I stated are things that aren't the way in Stir of the Seas. It's more complicated, and there's like a lot of randomness. And if you play it just right, everybody can get out but like 2 people, and then those 2 people will go forever and ever and ever and ever. And I'm like, it's like you made a sequel and made it more complex just to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Just to no, this is terrible. The only downside about it is that board they printed does not match the tiles they printed. Like the board is actually smaller because of the way that the board's shaped and it kind of divots down and stuff.
Oh.
The board doesn't physically fit all the tiles. Like I almost want. My mom has a deluxe Scrabble that's got plastic, like a plastic grid that you lock the tiles down into for Scrabble. I want something like that for Suro, where it'll just keep them in place.
I want something like that for a lot of games,
Yeah.
actually.
So that's Phillips played this one, Suro.
I have
28. Actually, I'm surprised you. I didn't realize you had played Suro of the Seas.
played it once.
I've only played it once too, but that was
Yeah.
enough to know it was garbage.
But yeah,
All right,
they started adding extra rules, and it's like, no, Suro is such a simple, quick,
it's supposed to.
slam
Yeah,
it out
it's
game.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, 27.
The Castles of Burgundy.
This is another one of those on my shame list. I've not played this game.
I don't
Another
think
one
you
you'd
would
probably
like it.
hate.
I have never played a Steffenfeld game.
Yeah, I don't think you'd like it. Anyway, very like most of his games, it's very you can get points in numerous ways.
Point salad.
Yeah. So, there's the main board and then you have your own personal player board, and when you there's 2 dice that you roll, so there are dice in it.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think there are dice in this game.
Yeah, there's 2 dice that you roll, and they're basically your workers, and there's numbers all over the place in this. Like there's numbers on the main board, which if your die matches one of those numbers, then you could take a tile from that section. And then I guess there's only numbers in 2 places because it's 3.
Technically 3.
3. And then there on your main board you have like not a diagram. What's it called?
You have your own
You have your own personal
layout.
layout, and it's color coordinated, and the numbers on there. If you have a matching number, you can place a tile into your personal board. And when you place tiles, sometimes buildings, when you place them, you get special benefits from the buildings. And then when you place a ship, you can buy, not ship goods, but you can collect goods to then
Like
later
import goods into
import
your,
goods, and then you can later export those goods and get points. And it's just really cool the way it works, and it's very thinky in trying to plan ahead. Like, okay, what tiles am I gonna want to purchase, or not purchase necessarily, but what tiles am I gonna want to collect and place them in my little city here, and try and piggyback off of like tiles that you're placing. So like with the building, some of them allow you to get other tiles for free, that kind of thing. And so it's kind of like, okay, if I place this building here, then I can collect this tile, and then with my other die, I can place this new thing here and then get points and all this. Because when you complete a section of a particular color, then you get points for that. And it's just a very neat thinking game, and it has really cute animals.
They're on the tiles.
There are green farm sections, and I actually really like collecting for the farm animals, because when you do, like if you have whatever animal you just placed, you score for that type of animal in that particular farm area. So if I place pigs and there's 4 pigs on a tile, and I already had 2 pigs in my farm area, I actually score 6 points for putting those pigs down. So it's really cool like that way.
So Philip, you should probably go through her list and like look for
How many animals on them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how many
Philip's playing
animals?
trivia, so he's
But
not paying attention.
Yeah, but the animals are just
I'll
so
be knocked out in like 2 more questions.
His little
I'll
piggy
be right back.
pigs and the sheepy sheep.
Have you played the card game version?
We have not. There's also a dice version,
Yeah,
isn't there?
mhm.
There's 3
Or is-
different Castles of Burgundy.
Is there?
There's both.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 different. It's really
The
interesting.
dice
but I've
version
only
is more
played.
recent.
I've only played the board game, but I really like it. It's very thinky.
Yeah, dice version came out at Essen, I think.
Ah.
Oh wow!
The Dice
I didn't
of
realize it was
Burgundy.
that new. I didn't realize it was that new. That's cool.
All right.
So
Where
it's
are we
back
at?
to me?
27?
Yeah. And Magic Maze.
Yeah.
Magic Maze.
I haven't played this game.
Yeah, real-time cooperative. And it's
But
D&D
silent,
tropes.
right? Can't you
Mostly
not talk?
silent. Mostly silent. You can talk at certain points. Like
Oh,
when
when the timer flips.
Yeah, so you're moving these characters throughout the mall. You can only move them a particular direction, though. And there's a 3-minute sand timer going. And the objective is you have to get these people all to their certain locations so they can steal their weapons, because that's the whole plot, is they've been stripped of their weapons at the end of their D&D quest. And then once they steal it, they got to get out. And there's certain places where you can flip the sand timer, and so you can. It's not a matter of it resets it. It's how much was in the bottom is now on the top, and when you flip it, you can talk. Like unless, except for when no one can move. Like when the next move is made, talking stops.
Mm.
And you have this pawn, the do something pawn is what it's referred to as. And you take it and if you know someone's not doing something, you take it and put it in front of them. You bang it on the table, and it can be really frustrating when it's you that they're banging at. But when it's someone else, you're just kind of laughing. But you're also frustrated. It's like, I see it too. Why aren't you doing that? But they'll probably take it and put it back in front of you because you're not doing something too. Because there's 4 different characters you're moving around.
Yeah.
So good thing.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game. And there's either 14 or 17 different levels of difficulty. Like you start with the base and then you add in different mechanisms.
I think we're up to like 4.
I think we got up to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been teaching a lot of people, and the last time we played it, we just said, you know what, we're just playing it just us. And we're gonna try out the next levels. So it's good stuff. Magic Maze.
So my 27
Yep, got
is
knocked out.
getting a sequel this year.
Oh,
What's cooler than being cool?
Ice Cool?
Well, it's ice cold, but yes, Ice Cool is my 27. This game
Nice.
is great.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Philip probably doesn't because
Philip
it's a
no
flicking
likey.
game. Ice
No.
Cool.
Hurts my fingers.
Because you do it wrong.
Huh?
You gotta
No,
do
he
the
does it
skill
right.
flick.
He does it right, and you cheat.
Oh, I cheat. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
You're more of a.
We all know you got them magic fingers.
Yeah, you're more. Whoa. All right. Welcome to Boards and Swords After Dark.
I'm not coming.
Do I need to say, like, this game? It's you're flicking penguins. It's basically you're flicking. What are they called? They fall
Weeble
over.
wobbles.
Weeble wobbles. They fall
Yeah.
over. They'll fall down.
Yeah.
They wobble, but
But they
don't
wobble.
fall
They
down.
don't fall down.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
And you're just flicking them around the board.
Yep.
I-
Okay, I'm back. I got knocked out of
I
trivia.
keep trying to like do flick shots and jump them over stuff, and it never works. But I just have fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very fun game.
I'm super excited about the second one.
I saw a demo video for the
Oh, really?
second one. Yeah, it was Eric Martin from Borg and Geek
Mhm.
did an interview,
Oh,
and
okay.
they actually were like looking at it set up, and they talked a little bit more in depth about it. And
Mhm.
the setup that you've been seeing in the screenshots where the thing can slide back and forth.
Mhm.
They're saying like you can flick through that empty area, but if you get stuck in there,
Yeah.
it's like you went out, so you
Yeah.
go back to where you were.
The
It's pretty cool.
the Firefly game, the board setup
Mm-hmm.
is almost like Ice Cool, where like you use the box
Mhm.
Oh,
as
nice.
part of, because like the little buildings.
I was like draped over it, kind of thing.
Well, no, the okay,
The
so
box is the buildings.
you don't really use the box, but the inside there are a bunch of little buildings that are also
Ah,
like your it's a game tray.
insert.
yeah,
It's a game
yeah.
insert. Yeah, so you can just like
So you
Oh, I
dump
got-
out your stuff, put it on the board.
boom, now you got a building. There you go.
Nice.
I
Oh,
like that
that's
because
neat.
it's like recycle. Like it's not wasted space.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sydney, 26.
Use every part
All
of the animal.
right. 26 is Las Vegas.
I'm okay with that game.
Have you played it?
Yeah, it's the one with the dice and you're making the casinos.
No,
and
that's
all
Lords
No,
of Vegas.
that's
That's
Lords of
Lords of
Vegas.
Vegas. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
What's Las
Sorry.
Vegas?
You'll probably
So
be
Las
hearing
Las
about it.
Vegas is a good TV show. Should throw that out there.
Nobody watches Las Vegas.
I
So
watch
Las Vegas is a dice game. Each player has dice in their color, and there's these little casinos, basically numbered 1 through 6 on the table, and each casino has a cash money prize, and it always is going to be at least $50 or $50,000. So total there. So like if you put down money and it's a 10,000, and then you get a 3,000, then you're or 30,000. Sorry, 10,000, 30,000. You're gonna keep putting down these little money checks until you hit at least 50,000.
Mm.
And so the monies go from 10,000 to 90,000. So on your turn, you're gonna roll your dice, and then you take all of one number of your dice and you put them on that casino. So if you roll 3 2s, all 3 of those 2s, if that's the number you choose, go on that 2 casino. And it continues going until everybody is out of dice. Well, then to figure out who's won which checks is based on who has the majority in that casino. So if I have 3 2s, Collin has 2 2s, and Chris has 1 2, then I would win. But if there's multiple checks there, then it goes down. The highest denomination will go to the person who had the most dice, then the second most, then third most, that kind of thing. If there's a tie, however, so say that Collin and I each had 3 dice on the 2 casino, and Chris was in there, he had 2 dice on the 2 casino. Collin and I would get nothing, and Chris would be first place. So it's pretty
Ties
interesting.
cancel out.
Highest dice
It seems like it's more the gambling aspect of
ties
Las
cancel.
Vegas.
Because the
it's a
annoying
way to
thing
play
is
the system, though. Like,
the annoying thing is you could be rolling dice really well, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna put a 2 here, I'm gonna put a 6 over here, and this is on different turns, and then you're like, okay, Collin just tied me on 2s. I have 1 more die left. Let it be a 2, and it's a 4. So you can't break the tie. You know, it's pretty interesting the way it works like that.
Sounds like Yahtzee with extra rules.
I say it's what Roll for It wants to be.
Oh yeah.
It's a better version of Roll for It kind of thing.
And so obviously it's played over 4 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds.
Yeah, it's 4 rounds.
4 rounds, and at the end of that, you count up how much money you've collected, and that is the winner, or the person with the most money wins. So
yeah, it's a more strategic Roll for It, because in Roll for It you're rolling dice and allocating whatever you want, not just one number. But I much prefer Las Vegas too.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like, do I put my 1 die that's a 5 over here, or do I put my 4 die that are 2s over here? And that's pretty neat.
Yeah, good stuff. So we're back to me.
26.
All right, Grand Austria Hotel.
Isn't that a movie?
That's Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Is that the one that had the guy with the fez that had something boy?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
I haven't seen it.
Sure, I haven't seen it either. I was about to make that joke though. I was like, don't you mean Grand Budapest Hotel?
Anyways.
But yeah, it's dice drafting. Like, you roll a big pool of dice, and then each player takes turns choosing a die, and however many dice are in a particular column, like, because you sort them out by number. So if there's like 3 2s, I take one of the 2s, but then there were 3 total, so I get basically to take that action 3 times. And so the next person, if they chose a 2, they could only do it twice. So it's really cool. And
what actions?
Like 2 of them are you're getting like stuff for your kitchen, because you're getting people to come into your cafe, and then if you fulfill their orders, they agree that they like are enticed to stay in your hotel, and so you're booking up rooms in your hotel. And so the first 2 are like you're getting wine and coffee, and you have to get
cake and strudel.
You have to get less than or equal to as many coffee or as many wine as you do coffee, as like the lesser expensive ones. And then there's cake and strudel. And then you can hire employees, and 6 is basically a wild, but you have to pay to use that one.
Preparing rooms is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the dice are in columns.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so like number 1 is a specific type of action.
Yes.
Okay, so you go 1. Is what I said. Okay, so there are 4 dice in column 1.
Mm-hmm.
You pull one of the dice.
Okay.
You get to do that action 4 times.
Okay, even though you pulled 1 dice.
Yes.
Yes.
Because how many were there when you pulled it?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
I'm
pretty
picking
neat.
up what you're putting down.
There you go.
Okay.
And it's dice drafting is just a really intriguing thing to me. It's really like one of my hot mechanisms that I like.
I do like dice, and I like drafting, but I've not played a dice drafting game.
Okay. I think there's one I could find for you.
I don't think that would be the
Orleans
one.
might be.
Did
Isn't
you
that
play
dice drafting?
No, that's bag building.
Did you play Dice Masters like once?
Yeah, I mean that's not really.
No, it's like deck building almost.
Yeah.
Like Magic the Gathering kind of deck building.
Yeah, we're talking drafting.
That's like dice deck building.
That we're talking like role players, kind of like a dice drafting.
No, it is
game.
dice drafting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I take that back. I have played one. But my 26 is Dream On. It's probably the newest, probably one of the newest games. on
game
this list.
is great.
I love this game.
That game is so much
Again,
fun.
it falls into it's really
Oh.
simple, which is why it probably gets higher on my list because I love simple, easy to throw down, easy to play games.
Mhm.
Great drinking game.
It is a great drinking game.
Hmm.
And then it's funny because the drunker you get, the harder it is to remember the story that you came up with.
Also, the more people you need, you got to just get all right, let's gather up 12 people. All right, we're gonna play this game.
Yeah. So Colin's played this.
I did, yeah.
I have not
Cindy
yet.
has not.
I
But it
was on the
basi-
maiden voyage.
Yes, you were. It was basically you're throwing down cards to tell a story, and then you flip the deck over and you get more points to whether how well you can guess or remember the cards in sequence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost impossible to do, but it's still kind of funny remembering the story that you tell because it's like it always ends up being lewd somehow, or like you could be doing
Probably
it just
depending on the group.
it depends on the group, but because it depends on the cards. Like, it'll be just fine, but then someone throws a underwear in there because that just happens to be the card they have. Because you have a hand of cards and you're picking a card and
Right,
telling a
right.
story. So
And a lot of that stuff is like, when am I gonna use this card?
Yeah.
What the? All right, fine, screw it.
it's like whatever, buddy's in his underwear.
Yeah.
So it's great. 26 for me. Dream on.
Good one.
All right, my 25 is Pie Town.
Hey, we just played
We
this.
did just play this. This is a fairly new game from Renegade. Go figure. And in this game, you are baking pies, literally. So you're collecting your ingredients, and and then you just bake pies. And you put them in the for sale area, bake off area, whatever.
Mhm.
And when you end up selling them, you collect points for your pies. But there's another aspect of this game that's really neat. So every player has a secret ingredient
Secret recipe.
or secret recipe. excuse
Secret
me.
ingredient.
Yeah, it's a secret recipe, and your secret recipe is actually two types of apples and one rare ingredient. And the rare ingredients are either banana, strawberry, or pumpkin.
Banana.
And so you pick it at the
Banana.
Banana.
Banana. Damn it.
You pick what you want those three ingredients to be at the beginning of the game, and it's either red, green, or yellow apples. And then throughout the game, when you're baking pies, you can tell your opponents, okay, I'm baking one secret recipe, one with two rares and a common,
Mhm.
one with two commons and a rare, and then three commons. And so, I mean, you can do any combination of however many pies, but then
You put all your
you
ingredients
put all your
out
ingredients in the
there.
center of the table.
Not group. No, they're just like one big
They're
group.
just kind of all one big pile of ingredients, and your opponents can then try and deduce what your secret recipe is based on the
That's what
ingredients
say,
you've
like,
put out.
for what I've heard, isn't it like you want to bake the secret ingredient more because you get more
You
points,
get more points for it, yep.
but you don't in the sense that you don't want to make it obvious
Right.
what your
So when
what your
Collin and I played most recently, I kept trying to bake one of everything. So my, whatever my secret ingredient was, or whatever my secret recipe was, I think I had like two. I mean, obviously I had two apples, but it was like a green, a yellow, and a banana. And so I do that, but then my other pie that I had would have at least a red apple and a strawberry, and I'd try and throw a pumpkin in there if possible. So I was trying to make it so that every single ingredient was being baked, so it would make it impossible for him to know what my recipe was.
I'm never coming to your house for dessert.
Oh, I don't like pie very much. So that's the weird thing. I really love this game, but I really don't like pie. But the components in this game,
Right?
the components in this game are fabulous. Like, I mean, they're so well designed and so well thought out. And you're using your dice, or your workers are dice. And depending on what action you take, the dice will either go up or down in value. Just, the more powerful the up or the action, that's usually when it goes down in value.
Mhm.
But oh my gosh, it's just so stinking cool. Like, I mean, the little ingredients are just kind of little cardboard tokens, but the artwork on
Okay.
them is pretty neat.
It's got really big
but-
dice in it too.
But every player has your score marker is a slice of pie. The first player marker is a little chef's hat. It is so stinking cute. There's a rolling pin that's your round marker. Oh my gosh, guys. It's adorable. I love the components in this game.
It's totes adorbs.
I love
Yeah.
it so much. I think that's why this game is so high. Because even though it's a fun game, The components are just incredible.
Phil's just looking at where the computer
I'm looking at
froze.
the frozen.
It is pretty funny where it froze.
Anyways,
Colin, what's your next one?
25.
25 is Isle of Skye. Isle of Skye.
No, I always get this one and Fields of Arl confused, but no, I have not played Isle of Skye.
Same artist. Yeah,
Yeah,
same artist.
it's
Both
very,
both
the
Clemens
graphic
Franz.
design very similar.
Clemens Franz.
Clemens Franz is good.
So yeah, it's think of it as Carcassonne, but you're building up your own area rather than one collective
It's a
area.
Mayfair game, right?
Yeah.
Or was.
Or yeah, Lookout. It's a Lookout game.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't think it was Lookout. But anyway, it looked like a Lookout game. But yeah, you are building up your own thing, and you are basically buying tiles from each other. And this is another one that I usually always win. But and you can choose not to buy a tile, and depending on who's going first, that money that someone buys a tile from you, you can then use to buy another tile from someone else.
Okay.
So if you, that's where I come ahead of Cindy a lot of times. Like I decide, like I'm the first to buy a tile, and like you price your tiles also, because like you say,
Makes
okay,
me
this one's
so
going to cost
mad.
10, this one's going to cost 2, but she really wants the one that's 10, and then I
It
say,
is Lookout Games.
I say, I'm not buying a tile. She's like, okay, well I don't have enough money.
Yeah, it makes me so mad.
Well, that's part of the strategy in the game. Is like, but if she can't buy it, then I end up paying for it with that money, like,
Okay.
and I get the tile.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing you like this game because you beat your wife a lot at it.
No, that's not why I like it, but it's a plus.
You have a lot of tile games in this, tile laying games, and
I guess that's true.
10.
Yeah,
And this 10.
because Magic Maze could be in tile lane.
and Alhambra and Carcassonne.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
So, we didn't stop to say that this is our halfway point in the list, 25. You want to know what the
Ooh.
halfway point in my list is? It's an
Uh,
Uwe Rosenberg game.
No way. Is it
Not-
patchwork?
Is
It is
Patchwork.
patchwork.
All right.
Is it- yeah. It's
Like,
not
that's
the
the only
only
one I know
Uwe
you
you've
like.
played, because you just did tell me you played Fields of Arl.
Yeah. But I didn't know that was an Uwe. And I've also played Agricola.
Oh yeah, I don't like that one either. very
Yeah, I
much.
didn't like the cards in that one.
Yeah, I never
was too
again.
much.
Never again. But yeah, Patchwork, it's Tetris. I like Tetris, and it's a short 2-player. Like I said, I play the app more than I play anything.
Mhm.
Right.
Because the app is beautiful and very seamless.
I can see the seams.
Ah! But it's great. You're picking different like
Polyominoes.
polyominoes, different shapes, and you're trying to fill up a little quote board. Like the theme sounds boring.
You both need to go back to algebra.
What?
It's a polynomial, sir.
No.
I know.
Like the theme sounds boring, but I think you'd actually like the game.
All right.
Like, are you a fan of Tetris?
Wow. I honestly, I remember playing Tetris on like
I don't want to talk
on
to
the
you then.
brick. All right.
I still have a said brick.
You still? I know. I've seen the brick.
Yeah.
But that was the last time I played Tetris. Was when I had a brick.
The original Game Boy.
Oh.
The-
That weighed like 12 pounds.
Yeah.
To
I
4
used to play it on the
batteries.
original
And had a
Nintendo.
contrast button.
Yeah, that's right, man.
I had the rechargeable pack, so it added like 5 pounds to
that's
it.
Right, that's right, man.
All right.
jealous of you.
Stepping in, the top half of the list, 24.
So my 24 is Council of 4. I
Hey.
think Colin
that
talked.
was you talked about
Colin
last
talked
week.
about this one last time, but you're building up. Well, you're not building up, but you're placing trading posts, I guess.
Yeah.
You're placing trading posts in these different cities, and you're trying to collect bonuses, and the bonuses work off each other. Whatever.
It either move you up on a respective track or give you a bonus, or they
No, I'm trying
give
to
you
say
points.
that they work off of each other.
Yeah, you can
The
chain. You
connected
can chain
city.
reaction.
Chain reaction. Thank
There
you.
we go.
Connected cities chain reaction.
I was thinking Pandemic, where it's like a bonus will trigger
Yeah,
a
you-
bonus
yeah,
will
you
trigger a
mentioned that
bonus will
last
trigger a
week.
bonus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for in Pandemic, it's usually a bad thing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Same mechanic.
yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because Colin talked about it last week.
All
And
right.
I'm going on too long about things because I can't think.
Look at the
today.
previous episodes.
Council of 4.
It's you.
It's me again. Caverna is 24 for me.
Hey, speaking of Uwe,
Yeah.
we almost synced up on our list as far as authors.
So yeah, Caverna is it's Agricola minus the cards, but you get to go out adventuring if you choose to do so, because you can go on a quest. Is it questing, or I forget what it is?
I don't know.
You basically go out and pillage a village is what it's representing.
Pillage a village.
And so you bring back like livestock or whatever your spoils happen to be. And
Nah, man, I'm just here for the pillaging.
but yeah, worker placement, good stuff. Resource management, building out your farm
And
your
amazing
cave.
Animeeples.
And it's got the animeeples.
We
and
put
I
apples
put the
on 'em?
googly eyes on them.
They're so stinking cute.
All right. So
Is that you just put googly eyes on them, or that's like a
No, we put them
I
on.
put them on there. Yeah.
no? Is
he bought googly eyes.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
there
was
you
gonna
go.
like, do they come with googly eyes in the
No.
box, and you can
No,
put them
he
on there?
bought-
Okay, you bought
Went to
eyes.
Hobby Lobby, got some 3mm googly eyes.
Gotcha,
And he glues
gotcha.
them all with craft glue.
Jeez.
So I just double checked, and my 24 is I'm gonna go ahead is the first of many LCGs on this list.
Yeah, I knew that was coming at some point.
And Philip was there for the first one. In fact, we streamed and we played this on video live the first time.
Okay.
This would be Android Netrunner.
all
is
right.
number 24.
Mhm.
And I got to thinking, I was
Have
like,
you won a game of that yet?
I did. I beat a 7-year-old girl.
Oh,
That was literally the first time I won this game. I went to an organized play, and one of the guys had brought his daughter, and I played her,
man.
and I won.
beat a little
And
girl.
I
Chris.
know. Of course, she's probably like 9 or 10 now, but that's how
yeah.
long ago this was. And then I finally, that was like the straw that, like, after that, I started winning more.
Okay, there we go. You
Like,
had to get
you
in
talk,
a
like-
confidence win. That's what it was.
Like, it was legendary how often I lost this game. But, like, before I had played like 11 times against like several different people, each teaching the game. Like, I had been playing it 11 times, and like every time it was their first, and still losing.
Oh, wow.
Except for mine, I played it twice.
Yeah.
Still beat him.
Yeah, still beat me both times. And I got to thinking about it because
Now I'm retired.
I
My
loved-
record's 2-0. I'm retired.
I loved the theme in this, but I was like, why don't I like this as much as I like some of the other ones? And that's because even though it's only like, I guess it's like 6 years old almost at this point,
Yeah.
but it's starting, and as far as Fantasy Flight's LCG design, it's starting to show its age. Because, for instance, this one is one that borrows more from the Magic style of play than some of the newer kind, where it's I do my whole turn and then you do your whole turn. Whereas modern games now are more you do a thing, I do a thing, you do a thing until we both pass kind of thing.
Yeah.
You've seen this kind of gameplay in other styles before. It's the whole like I'm gonna do all these different things on my turn while you sit there, and then, but it's still like. I remember the thrill of like how everything's kind of integrated together, and that's why it still holds a place on this list. I still like playing it, just there are other LCGs I'd rather play more. So Android Netrunner, it's a cyberpunk LCG.
All right, my 23 is Clans of Caledonia.
Hey.
Another one Colin talked about last week. So
More Clemens Franz art.
yeah, it's
Drunken Terra Mystica.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
But what you could say why it's your like why that's kind of the whole point of the list is why is it?
Animeeples.
Oh, okay.
There we
There,
go.
there we go.
You had to ask.
The truth comes out.
There we
I
go.
don't know.
All
All right,
there we go.
23.
What? No, I like.
What is
Fine.
you could what? I thought
I
you were
can't
done.
think
I thought you were
tonight.
done.
I can't think tonight, guys. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just like
I know
brain
what's wrong
dead.
with you, but we're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a family
I
thing.
know,
Whoa.
I
Yeah.
know, but it's
It sounds funny,
it
yeah.
sounds.
Yeah. I know.
I know what's wrong with you. All right, I'm just-
Soon enough, I'll be able to share with you guys why I'm so distracted
I've
tonight,
known.
but I just can't right now.
Gosh. I've known you for how long? I know what's wrong with you.
Whatever.
That's getting clipped out, by the way. I don't know what's wrong with me. I know what's wrong with you.
It's a farming game. It's got a little bit of market manipulation in it and animeeples. There you go.
All right, Colin.
So my 23 is Habitats.
Oh, I like this
It's
one.
more animals.
But they're not animeeples. It's
No.
it's tile. It's another tile laying game.
Which is-
Yeah.
they're not animeeples, so Cindy's like, no, I don't want to play this.
I like Habitats. It's a good game.
But yeah, each person is building out their it's like a wildlife preserve. Each person's building
it is.
up. And you're taking turns like drafting tiles from the middle and putting them in your thing. And each tile, in order to score, has a like a condition needs to be met. Its habitat has to be next to it. Like this trash panda. It's a raccoon. No, I don't think there's a raccoon in the game, but like whatever animal, like there's like a bee. Like it needs to have
Flowers.
2 different flowers next to it.
Okay.
Or there's a lion. It needs to have like some like 3 savanna tiles and a jungle tile next to it. And
the birds like
then
water
when
tiles.
it stays upside down until its requirement is met, and then you flip it over. So at the end of the game, you know what you're scoring based on what's right side up. But then there's also other tiles, like there's observation towers, and like they score based on how many animals they can see in a particular direction.
And flowers.
And flowers, yeah.
Can you port the dinosaurs into this game?
You could probably reskin it. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Yeah. All right. The Tyrannosauruses can only be proper when they have at least 2 long necks and some cow-type creatures next to them.
Yeah, sure.
So my 23 is a game that if you haven't played it, Colin, I really want to play this game with you.
Okay.
It has dice. It has drafting.
All right.
It has engine building. And Philip's played it.
Oh, is this do you own this?
Yes.
Is that the
Is this
Steampunk Rally.
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to play that.
The theme in this one sells this for me because it's just a whole bunch of your favorite inventors. And I definitely want to play this now because I got the promo DeLorean cards.
At
At
PAX,
PAX
right?
Unplugged,
Yeah.
yes. I got the
Nice.
Dr. Von Braun. It's a BRAUN. And it's awesome. And it there's like a lot of you draft cards and you're building this weird concoction of an engine that you want to use to get you to move forward. But then it's like there's a drafting phase, and then once you've done the drafting phase, it's everyone kind of does this is another one of those everyone does their own thing then, where it's you're rolling dice and activating cards and then doing it's great. It's chaotic. It doesn't get played a lot because it's extremely complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
it's really hard to teach.
there's a lot that goes into like the placement of your cards too,
Yeah.
because they have like you have
Certain cards only have certain attachment points. So like you might get to a point where you can't build out your engine any farther in a direction because you don't have like a hard on, what's it called?
a hard point.
Hard point.
There you go.
That
That
sounds
sounds
better
better.
phrasing.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have a hard point
a
to
connection
a
point
connection
to
point.
attack
Yeah.
to. Yes. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
You should clip
But
that
you
out.
you liked this game,
I
right?
did like that game. That was a lot of
Which
fun.
is amazing
And
considering
You
it was
build it up and
extremely
then you watch it blow up as you're racing, right?
Yes,
Pretty much.
exactly. That's true. Because like one of the times I won, I don't know if I won the game, but I got across the finish line. But like it was just my main compartment, and I just like see in my head it's just like everything flying off, and then it's the image of like the guy in the steering wheel and the seat, and that's it.
we
Oh my
just saw that
gosh.
last Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but that was
scooting across the finish
yeah,
line.
like
Oh my
that was a great
gosh.
game. I liked that they took all the am I remembering correctly? Did they not use all the scientists' names? I mean, because like Doc Brown was von Braun.
Yeah.
But like
No,
didn't
they
have-
were all right. Like it was the Wright brothers and Nikola Tesla.
Oh, okay. So it
and-
was everyone's actual
Yeah,
name.
I
okay.
think they-
gotcha.
because
Emmett
that's
Brown is from a
From
Yeah,
an
the
IP,
IP,
that they
yeah.
had. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
so it's they use historical things because it's
Yeah, like there's Marie
They can
Curie,
use real
and
people.
Okay.
And it's cool because they're all themed towards like
what those
the
people
diff-
are known
the
for.
different abilities. Like the Wright
Oh.
brothers get a like a flying
Lots of
piece
lots
stuff.
of wings
Oh,
and stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because what it is you have your standee, and then you have like basically 2 cards that are like the base of your engine, and they'll
Mm.
have like a special ability usually on it. So
Yeah,
That's
so the
really
Wright
cool.
brothers had a lot of stuff
Steampunk
dealing
Rally.
with air.
Yeah, I think we need to
great.
get this out soon.
I
That'd be
think
good.
I would
That'd
enjoy
be good.
that. Okay, my 22 is Problem Picnic Attack of the Ants, which you all
Awesome.
played.
Yeah, that game.
Because we did it on our live feed on New Year's Eve.
Colin
dice
talked
throwing.
about this. It was on.
Oh, that's
your
right, that's
50.
right.
Was
Yeah,
it on
that game.
Colin's?
Yeah,
It was higher up.
I think it was in my first 10. It was,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
so-
45 for me.
So it's a dice.
And it's
it's
about
a dice
animals.
dexterity game. There are animals in it, yeah. It's a dice dexterity game where you have a array of cards in front of you, and every player does. You're going for the same things, and you kind of roll a die into the center, and you're trying to get it to land on cards, and at the end of the round, people with the majority, each die has ants on it and different numbers on different faces of the die. And it's the majority of the ants on a card. You collect that card, add it to your tableau, and then you try and meet in-game scoring conditions to get points. And
Yeah, it's mostly like majorities. You have the most of something, or you have
Yeah.
the most. Like you can arrange them in different. In the more advanced rules,
yeah,
you can arrange
in
them,
different,
and whoever has
ways.
them arranged in proper orders can win
get
certain
points
cards
for
too.
that.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game. I really like dexterity games, so I'm not surprised that this one's this high on my list.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
All right.
my
Well, I mean,
22 is Friday.
Oh,
No,
Nice.
it's Saturday.
My bad. Sorry. Well, yeah, Friday. It's actually a solo game. It's a card game. It's
Is
based
this
on
the one with Ice Cool in it?
no.
what?
What?
Wasn't he in the movie Friday?
Oh, Ice Cube.
Yeah, I said Ice Cool. I meant
Yeah.
Ice Cube. I'm
I might have gotten the joke. But anyway,
You're
so
lucky your wife does
I
not
know.
watch this. Okay.
I know.
so yeah, it's Robinson Crusoe themed. You are trying to basically help Robinson Crusoe survive on this island, and you're trying to get him through a whole deck of challenges. And if you beat a challenge,
Nah.
it actually turns
Let 'em
into
die.
it.
Not my problem.
It turns into an ability that you actually put into your deck. So it's got like a little deck building element to it because you're trying to build your deck better and get weaker cards out of your deck. And then at the end of the game, after you've gone through the Trials deck 3 times, there's 2 sets of pirates you need to face. And if you beat both sets of pirates, you win, and then you add up the points on your cards to get like your total.
Yeah, it's a fun little game.
It's a neat little game.
It's neat.
We play it somewhat cooperatively.
All right. My 22 is right over there. It's actually near the Netrunner. That's Dead of Winter.
Oh.
This was the game that when I played it, I was like, oh yeah, this definitely like this. For a while, this was one of my favorite games. For a while, like it kind of goes like Eldritch Horror was one of my favorites because it was a storytelling game, and then Dead of Winter did the whole storytelling, but had a lot more interesting mechanics in it. But I love this game. Phillips played it.
Yes.
We've
yes.
all played it.
Yeah, that's right. You have it, don't you?
We
we
got
used
rid
to.
of it.
Okay.
I even made an insert for it because like I really
That's one thing I need to do. I have not played. This is a game that I have not like. I played. This one had a problem where when it came out or when I got it, I played it a lot to where I almost got sick of it. Like it was the pandemic kind of problem to where like I loved it so much that's all I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And then I just got to the point I just couldn't stomach playing it anymore, even though I loved it. It was just like I gotta play something else. And ever since then, I need to play it again. But there's all these other things to play.
Yeah, we would always play it 2-player, and you just play totally cooperative, and you do the hardcore side of the card.
That
and-
seems boring to me.
No, it's
was good.
actually fairly intense because it makes it a lot harder to beat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just don't have the is she working against
I'm saying,
me
but
thing.
that's what I enjoy about the game.
Oh,
Like those
okay.
are the pieces I enjoy. Is
Well,
the
pandemic thing. Like, there's no hidden traitor. That's why we liked it.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I was only referencing pandemic as in the after pandemic legacy where
Ah,
I just
gotcha,
couldn't stomach
gotcha.
playing pandemic
Yeah, we're
again.
just like, no, pandemic,
But, like,
go away.
In Dead of Winter, I just love the there's the like because there may not be a traitor. Like the way the
Mhm.
cards work is there doesn't have to be a traitor.
Or there might be 4 if you do the deck wrong, like I did.
That was terrible.
And then there's always like you're playing like why did you do that? You should not have done that. Why are you doing that? But
What
it's
do you
really
mean?
you're
I'm
trying
doing
to
a thing.
you're trying to get your secret objective. But I'm like he's a traitor.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
And then we also, because when you, me, and Ashley played it,
Yeah.
we always had the problem of the condition card.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if someone does X, Y happens.
Oh, the
And
Oh,
we're-
crossroads.
the crossroads, yeah, and we're just like, oh wait, like 6 turns ago, this
This
was supposed to
happened.
happen.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, it was. That's the one downside is you never remember to do that.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was always annoying.
Yeah,
for me
we
too.
always forgot that too. What was it we were talking about?
Yeah, we were
that,
talking about this earlier.
that had something like a better version of it, but I can't remember right now.
yeah, I can't either. But yeah, Dead of Winter, my number 22.
Okay.
All right.
So my final one. for the-
21.
My final one for the night is Magic Maze.
Magic Maze.
Another fun dexterity game that I'm not going to talk about because Colin just did.
In this
It's
episode.
not dexterity.
In this episode.
Is that the first time we've
well,
had it in the
okay,
same
it's not dexterity. I'm sorry. It's not dexterity.
tile laying?
Tile laying, real-time cooperative, fun little can't talk to each other. Very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good stress. And I like that. I really like games that are
Why are you staring at my
like that.
games?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry.
That does the Crossroads thing better.
Yeah, it's like the Crossroads, but
Anyway,
Anyway.
what's your number 21?
Magic
babe?
Maze. It's good. Yeah. Another card game. It's Siberia, the card game.
Oh,
And
we've only played that twice.
yeah, but I like it.
That's true.
It was like one of my I need this game, but I can't find it anywhere games for a while.
Yeah.
Did you
And
get stuck in a Russian prison?
No.
In the gulag in Siberia?
I don't know, but I didn't say anything about the gulag though.
Okay. It's in Siberia. I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, it's cards. You're drafting cards from a deck. No, you're not drafting. But you're using cards to purchase like resources from the middle. You're
Yeah.
basically drilling them out of Siberian wilderness, and yeah, you're just trying to get points from these cards. It's really nice, and you can get some people, like you can get investors that make your stuff more valuable, and you can get things that automatically give you like a symbol of a certain type, so it makes getting more resources easier, or hiring more workers that allow you to get more resources in one turn. It's really nice. It's kind of smooth flowing too.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
game.
just it's like 2 decks of cards. That's all it is.
By the way, was it Fallout that we were talking about? Because I know Fallout had one of those crossroad card
Well,
aspects
I haven't
in it.
played Fallout though.
Okay. I don't know. I was just looking through the list of games I'd played recently.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyways, finish off my list. Custom Heroes.
Good one.
Oh.
Again, this falls into the category of simple, easy to play.
Yep.
But I do like trick-taking games, mainly because it's a mechanic that a lot of people know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people have played hearts or spades. So you can be like, it's like that, but although some people argue this isn't technically a trick-taking game, it's a ladder building game.
Ladder climbing.
Yeah. Because when you win the cards is who has the highest card, but when everybody passes.
Gotcha.
But anyways, yeah, that's why the artwork and I like the card crafting system on it. Which, by the way, did you see Edge of Darkness?
I've heard of it.
It's out now on Kickstarter.
Cool.
Oh God! Speaking of which,
There's a lot of stuff out on Kickstarter right now.
speaking of which,
The Batman
it's
is
happening.
coming out in like 2 days.
It's happening. Yeah, the 27th. By the time this episode is being officially released, it will have already happened.
Mm-hmm.
The 27th is the day that
So you're gonna be dropping down like $200
Oh
on
my
this
God! That's
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
can't.
how-
That's the problem is I can't. Although we did just do our taxes, so.
Whoa. Never mind.
thing. Well, I'm sure you got like a month. So, and then if you'd only do like the pledge manager, the $1 thing, you got another month after that.
That's true. That is, I hear people hacking that, but because it's like this game's gonna fund.
I thought it was really cool. Since we're done, is like getting into this.
Yeah.
One of the ones that we're backing right now is Prehistory,
Mhm.
and someone was like, "Hey, if I do the $1, can I do the get in on the pledge manager later?" And the person came back saying, "We're not using a pledge manager." Like, it sucks for you.
I saw that on another one where they're like, "If I pledge $1, can I come?" And they're like, "No."
Thank you for your $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Could it be Robinson Crusoe that you're thinking of, where something triggers?
No, I don't think.
No,
it was.
because this was a recent thing we were talking about. It was like 2 episodes ago or something like that.
I do
So,
remember talking about something.
there are a lot of Kickstarters going on right
Oh my
now.
gosh, yes, there are. What are we backing? Like 3 right now?
Well, you did the
The
giant
Western.
meeple.
You just did the Western
and
one.
Western Legends. That finished a little bit ago, and Finca reprint.
Finca and Prehistory.
I have backed 1 Kickstarter
Ever.
And then,
ever.
well, Gravity War.
How is that?
Actually, no, I lied. I also backed Reading Rainbow,
Oh yeah,
which funded in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
funded like a CMON Kickstarter.
Oh man, it was like people were like Reading Rainbow, bam, and then they like, I don't know, they got like $6 million or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
So
holy
Mm.
crap.
You were saying?
And then Gravity Warfare was
That's
supposed
right.
to.
That was the one that you were describing, and I wanted
Yeah.
to try.
So it was supposed to launch on Kickstarter like February 10th or so. I don't know, somewhere at the beginning of February. But then they sent out an email to the people that were on their, sign up list, whatever, saying that they weren't pleased with the results of like them building their Kickstarter, and so they were delaying it until they could get it done the way they want. I'm like,
Which is what the Finca guy should have done, because his Kickstarter page looks terrible.
That's gotten
That's
there's
true.
there's a Kickstarter out. I want to say it's either now or it finished up. It's like Greedy Dragons or something like that. It's
I've
from
heard about
Evil
that.
Hat Games, where he actually, when he launched it, he got a bunch of feedback that people were just not happy with the reward levels, like what you were getting for the amount. And he went in and redid all the rewards, and then it's suddenly like it was the funding was just going real slow, and then he redid all the rewards, and it just took off.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah. So with Finca, when we were watching the video,
Did
I
it
was
start out,
like-
yo?
no, but
Might as well have.
but Colin and I were watching this, and I'm like, I'm so glad we're not doing kick stop, just stop, because Chris would like.
I was busting a gut laughing at this video.
It was a bad video.
Is it still up?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. After I finish the recording, we are going to.
It was
we're gonna
a
listen
bad
to this live.
video, guys. Oh my god.
Grow fruits, produce fruits, collect fruits, sell fruits.
Oh, this is we're
It
totally
was
doing this.
horrible.
We're totally doing this.
Anyway.
I'll post the link in the chat so
Yeah.
you could watch along with us. We're totally doing this.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of which, we've kind of come to the end of the show here.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna ask if anybody has final words. I'm just shutting you off.
All right.
Okay.
Boom.
Good with
Done.
that.
Next episode. Next episode 20 through 11.
Yeah, we're getting into like the really favorites.
It'll be episode 99.
Getting into the
We got 99 problems.
and board
And
games
I'm not
are
one.
about 12 of them.
99 problems and not a board game ain't one.
Yeah, that's right.
But thank you for listening to this show. Remember that we've been streaming pretty regular on twitch.tv/OCDcast.
Yeah.
It's gotten kind of janked up to this time, and apparently our next one may be a little, but Facebook.com/OCDcast is the best way to keep in touch, because we make events that let you know.
That's right.
And let you know when I update. And when people don't tell me that they're not getting off work until 7.
Hey, man, you do that thing where you type a text out in your head and then it doesn't translate to the
Oh,
fingers.
I
yeah.
have this
Yeah.
problem.
I've done that.
Yeah.
So,
Or emails. I do that with emails.
speaking of emails, if you want to let it talk to us, feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. I'm Chris the Prof.
I'm at callcase196.
I'm Cindy Pastorius.
And I'm Phil the Dirtbag.
Yeah. By the way, did you see the new Star Trek Ascendancy stuff I tagged you on Twitter?
I did.
Yeah. Anyways, so remember that this show is a part of the Dice Tower Network. You can find all sorts of great stuff by going to the dicetowernetwork.com. And if you want to help support the stuff that supports the stuff, go to coolstuffinc.com. We got a cool stuff order coming in soon.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And
On Monday.
to get cool stuff at what is it? Cool stuff in stock at coolstuffinc.com.
CoolStuffInc.com.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, thanks everyone. Remember, this is an Obsessive Comics Disorder production. If you want to see an awesome RPG show, you need to go check out Dirtbags of Olding at ocdcast.com. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for listening. And remember that
Every
I'm
game.
sorry, I'm distracted by his
We're
dance.
looking at what Colin's going on.
dancing.
Just remember, every gamer
Every
has
gamer
a story.
And Collins is that he loves tile games.
I do.
I'm just gonna let this count down because there's only like 14 seconds left. Look, I'm moving them around now. Like, see, they're like,
Yeah. A little better.
yeah.
All right. To the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
To Kickstarter!
How many tile games did you have on this top 10?
Oh, man, I just closed it.
Because I mean, it was like almost every other one.
Hang
It
on,
seemed.
I'm pulling it back up.
It's a terrible video, Chris. Finca.
Finca.
F-I-N-C-A.
Let's see. Alhambra, Carcassonne.
No, C-K.
C-A.
C-A.
Alhambra,
CA.
Carcassonne. We can call Magic Maze tile. Isle of Skye. Caverna has tiles.
board game with fruits.
And habitat. So I had six out of
Ralph
10.
out of your
Zerlind
10.
and Wolfgang Sentker.
This is a
I don't know
reprint
that
of
anybody's
this.
still in
Oh,
the
it's
chat.
a reprint of it.
Yeah, it came out in like 2011.
I think it was
Oh, okay.
2009 actually.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
And it's
I don't know.
we've tried it at Dice Tower Con, and it's a fantastic game.
Okay. Oh, no one's in
But-
chat. Oh well, it's in chat though.
Oh, I gotta sign in.
Not for nobody in there.
Yeah. All right, we're doing this.
It's hysterical.
play.
In the board game Finca, you act as a Mallorcan farmer.
It just gained a backer.
It's just pictures of fruit.
6 different fruits.
You harvest fruits. You collect fruits. Wow,
No,
this
you
is
deliver the
great. I don't know what you're talking about. This is
Much easier
great.
than in real life. You just move one of your farmers around the windmill blades and harvest the fruit shown on the windmill blade where you move.
Are those actual carrots?
No, they're
No,
pumpkins.
They look like
they're oranges.
They look like carrot
Oh, they're
slices.
They
oranges.
honestly
In
look
one
like
of your
carrot
next
slices.
turns, you fulfill the needs of a Mallorcan community.
This
Therefore,
reminds
you
me of
need
like
to
a
write
bad
rules
travel
and a
video.
donkey card
Yeah.
for the delivery.
Like a travel ad. It was
For
like,
more information
do you
about
want to
the
go to
gameplay, have a
Cancun?
look at the videos linked below.
Not anymore.
Finca is a great game with a lot of wooden game components. It has been sold out for many years. Now you have the chance to get a reprint of this excellent game.
At least it's fully funded.
Right?
I'm
This
getting
is
it.
one of those circumstances where it's like, okay, the guy
1841.
English may not be his proper language, but if you're wanting people to
Primary.
spend money on your game,
Mm-hmm.
maybe hire someone who it is.
Yeah.
So my biggest problem with this Kickstarter.
We know a guy who does
Chris.
voiceovers.
Yeah.
Look at the shipping cost on this game.
Oh no.
It's coming from Germany. Just keep that in mind.
Do I have to select it?
Yeah.
Actually, there's a new one for specifically for the States. It's €16. But
Oh,
still, that's like $20.
16
No,
euros.
16 euros is more of like 25 bucks, I think, because it's like 1.5 or so.
Oh, it went up.
I don't know. Hold on.
Doing some math.
Yeah. Okay, €1 equals
1.2.
1.2.
1.25.
Yeah.
So
1.25. Yeah.
So about $20.
Okay.
Isn't that terrible? $20.
I mean, that's what the rest of the world is
But
for
it's not-
us.
Yeah, like
You know, when other countries bid for, you know, Rising Sun, they probably are having to. There's some where it's like in Australia, it costs more than the price of the board game to ship it there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Anyway, so it's just that's my only like
shipping
And that's
from
what most
England
of the
costs
people-
about that much.
and that's what most of the
For my
people
Star
are
Trek
talking
stuff.
about too. Like most of the comments are shipping is so high. But I'm super excited to get that game because I've been wanting it for a long time, or wanting to try it, 'cause knowing I would enjoy it, and then I did enjoy it when we tried it at Dice Tower.